Hello again. This is Darren Mulqueen at Mulqueen Sewing Center. We are here for our 2 o'clock venture with the Juki company, a company that we've become very fond of with the different models that we have here in the store. And 2 very special models are going to be discussed right now, and I think that you'll find them very, very interesting. We have our expert, Sherry, from the Juki company. She's one of the educators there. We have the new unveiling of a new model that she will show us here in a second. And then the sit-down long arm machine with stitch regulation. Stitch regulation used to have to be on a framed, very large cabinet. I'm sorry, a large frame with the wheels that you can slide your machine around. But now you can get stitch regulation that really, really works well on a sit-down. And Sherry will show that to us. We're very excited to bring Sherry in with us.
Hi, Darren. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So I'm going to go ahead.
I can see a sewing machine there on your screen.
Yes. So I'm going to do things a little bit different because it's not so important that you see me. It's more important that you see the machine. So I have my camera. I have my camera set up so I don't lose focus and that kind of stuff. So I'll just start out by telling you, like Darren said, I am an educator with Juki. And I've been sewing about 40 years, but about 20 years ago, I really got into the garment sewing and the quilting and decorative sewing, applique. That's kind of my love. That's what I thrive on. That's in my spare time. That's what I do. So I'm very excited to promote these 2 machines to you today. We're going to go ahead and start off with the Juki sit-down J350 QVP. You can see it is a large machine. It is an industrial looking machine that they have brought into the home market. So if you're not real familiar with Juki, Juki actually is the largest manufacturer of commercial machines. And so about 20 years ago, they brought that industrial strength and the industrial qualities, they brought those into the home market. So this is one of our best-selling machines that we have. Again, the Juki long arm QVP. You can see it's a beautiful looking machine. Just right off the bat, it has a wonderful thread tower, very solid metal base. So this machine does have a bobbin winder built directly into the machine. And it is the only one on the market, long arm in the market, that has that. So as you're sewing and you might be getting close to running out of bobbin, you can just go ahead and wind a bobbin while you're sewing. It does have a separate motor. And it has this great flywheel feature right here. You can see when we're sitting in front of the machine sewing, and sometimes we go over a big bump and our needle gets stuck, or we're free motion applique and our needle gets gummed up and doesn't quite pull out of our fabric correctly. So we used to have to get up, run around to the back of the machine and turn the flywheel. Well, Juki has made this so that we just reach over, push this button in, and turn our flywheel up and down by hand. So they have made that very, very easy for us. Very easy to thread. You can do your tension adjustment very minutely, or you can do those big tension adjustment turns here. What that allows you to do is sew with 2 different types of thread in your machine, which is kind of unheard of. But Juki's tensions are so great and so fine-tuned that you can use different weights in the top and the bobbin. Speaking of the bobbin, this machine also comes with the M-class style bobbins. So you get that extra thread on your bobbin. I'm going to go ahead here and sit down and switch camera angles. I'm going to go in front of the camera real quick. Sorry. All right. So I'm going to switch camera angles here. So you can see we have this great colored LED screen, and I actually have a camera set up to do that. So let me get that switched over here. Well, maybe this might be my glitch here. All right, here we go. Okay, so you can see we have this great LED screen, and on this screen, it gives us a whole lot of information. The most common thing when we sit down at a long arm machine, we want the machine to go just like our sewing machine will go. So this has a manual mode on it right here, and it's going to work just like your everyday machine. However fast you step on the foot control, that's how fast the machine's going to go. And you can actually change the speed here, plus or minus, so you can make it go faster or slower. 50 is about average. If you want to slow it down, absolutely do that. We can stop with our needle up or down. We can actually program when we wind a bobbin, so we actually know when we're getting close. So that's a great feature on this machine also. And we can hit our button here, and it has a cruise control. So what this cruise control is a stitch regulator, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. And then we also have precision. That works really well if you're doing roller quilting. And again, the stitch regulator works on that, and I'll discuss that in a little bit. But one of the unique features to Juki is if we go in here to this tools menu, we can change a lot of our options. We can turn our lights on and off. You have lights in the handles, which I'll bring a camera in closer so you can kind of see that. But you can change the lights in the handles, and you can change the lights over the needle. So it does have great lighting, and you can also change that, how bright that lighting is for you. You can turn the sound on and off. The very, very, very unique thing about this is Juki is known for their foot controls. When you step on the foot control, you get instant sewing. So you can actually program the foot control, and I think you can see this here, our wonderful foot control. No, we can't. Let me move it back here. Okay, so you can see our wonderful foot control. When you step on the blue back here, that's what's going to make your machine go and react, start, stop. But the front of the foot actually works as either a thread cutter, and that's what we can program here in this screen. We can press it and it'll work as a thread cutter. We can have it do either needle up, needle down. We can have it do a locking stitch. We can have it do 1, 2, or 3 locking stitches and cut our threads at the same time. So that is a wonderful, wonderful feature. And I always leave mine on thread cutting, but I love that feature. We can go back to main menu here. And so that's kind of the main functions of this machine as far as the screen goes. But I want to show you how beautiful this sews. So I'm going to switch camera angles here one more time for us. And I appreciate you bearing with me because the wonderful world of internet here. We got to get used to it. All right, so let me switch camera angles and get this set up just perfectly so you can see here. I think that's a pretty good shot. All right, so when we're looking at this angle here, you will notice that in the machine itself, we have these 2 rectangle lights. This is actually our stitch regulation. So our stitch regulation is not built into the table. It is actually built directly into the machine. So one thing Juki is very known for is always thinking ahead and always being innovative. So when they first came out with their sit down, they just wanted to be able to make it cost effective for a customer to move this machine to a frame. So if you ever decide to do that, you can go visit Mulqueen's and you can move this machine directly into the long arm frame without reinvesting in the machine because the stitch regulator comes with the machine. So I'm going to unthread my needle here just so you can see how this works. And I'm going to go back to my screen that we talked about earlier, and I'm going to put it on cruise control. And I'm going to step on the gas here. And when I step on the gas, The machine moves, but now you can see these lasers light up. And that is what's going to control our stitch regulations. So let me just go ahead and turn that off. And I will thread my machine up here. And you can see how wonderful this stitch regulation works. And hello, needle, there we go. All right, so bring our threads to the back here. And I did use white fabric with Juki blue thread so that you can really see the stitches. And I also want you to notice that when I step on the gas, you'll be able to see the lasers come through this fabric here. Put my pen down. All right, so I'm going to step on the gas. And you can see those lasers. And as I move my fabric, the machine's actually going to speed up and slow down as I move my fabric. And this works on pattern fabric, light fabric, dark fabric. It works on any, I have not found a fabric it doesn't work on. It is a foolproof machine. And so we can actually go really fast, really slow. So it is wonderful the way this stitch regulator works. And I talked to you a little bit about the precise and the ruler quilting. So this machine with this foot here that you see, this foot all comes with the machine, but it also works as a ruler foot. So you get the added value as that of 2 feet in one. And when you're doing ruler quilting, you put the machine on precise mode. And what that's going to do for us is when we stop sewing, the machine stops. So that way we can pivot. That way we can pivot our fabric and move that ruler and get that great ruler quilting that is so popular. And if you're not real familiar with ruler quilting, stop into Mulqueen because they'll give you the whole spiel on ruler quilting. It is great with the long arms. So this machine is pretty straightforward. It is a free motion only machine. So what that means is we have no feed dogs and we have very little maintenance on this machine. So this machine has a direct drive motor. And so it has no belts on the inside. So very, very low maintenance machine. All you have to do is put 1 drop of oil in the bobbin area about every quilt you do, maybe every 2 quilts. I live in Colorado, so it's very dry here. I do it every quilt. Just 1 little drop of oil in the bobbin area and nothing else to maintain on this machine. So sorry, Darren, you're not going to see these machines in your store for repair, but you're going to have very happy customers. Anything else you can add, Darren? Hello, Darren, are you there?
Here I am. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
We have the machine on the floor here in Mesa. We do have a special offer. We can ship it anywhere in the country. And we'll go over the details of the special offer here in a few moments. But yeah, this is a perfect machine to do ruler work. It will do your free motion quilting, your stitches will all be the same length, no matter if you go fast on there or if you move it really slow. Sometimes when you do ruler work, you go a little bit slower. The arm on this one, I believe, is 24 inches. We're going to get Sherry back on here in a second. You might be moving cameras. Oh.
I am. I'm going to move cameras, but I'll let you. It's an 18-inch arm.
I'm sorry, 18-inch arm. Is it hard to thread? You know, it's
no.
Not. It's basically a straight stitch machine, just a very straightforward thread path, similar to how thread machines used to thread in the olden days, because older machines are kind of more commercial. But in a house version, this is a commercial type machine of modern day, but the threading is very, very easy. And if there's any other questions on this, we normally would have this at the Rusty Barn Sewing and Craft Show. No, it won't go on the little foot frame. That's a different manufacturer. But you can, Sherry, do you have a 5-foot frame for this machine? Do you know? If Sherry's there? Oh, I think there might be a 5-foot frame that they do offer. Can you use templates with it? You sure can. You can use long arm templates. You don't want to use the Westerly ruler domestic machine rulers because they're too thin. They'll go right under the. Okay.
I'm here, Darren. I had you on mute, so you didn't hear me moving. So in answer to the question, yes, you can put this on a frame. The frames come in 5, 7, 10, or 12. And because of the foot that comes with it, I told you that foot acts as a ruler foot as well, so you don't have to invest in the ruler foot. You want to make sure that you're using 1/4-inch rulers. So you want to make sure you're using those long arm rulers. You don't want to use those thinner rulers. They need to be 1/4-inch. So Juki has rulers that they sell, but the Westerly long arm rulers work on it.
We have a whole line, a whole wall here, and on our website as well, of long arm rulers of all different kinds. I'm sure we have something that you could. We have feathers. We have sampler kits of rulers from Westerly for long arms, and it works for basically all brands of long arm, but especially these. If you are interested in pricing of that machine that you just saw on a frame, if you could email jer@mulqueen.com. We're pricing it today as a sit down, but if you want a different configuration, just email us and we will get you the event pricing on any configuration. Right now we're focused on the sit down version with our special event pricing that we'll go over here in a short minute. So Sherry, you have the unveiling,
I'm getting there.
All right.
The beauty of doing this at home. Here we go.
There it is. This is completely state-of-the-art sewing, quilting.
Go ahead, Darren. I'll just fix my camera while you're...
Okay, yep. That's a huge throat. I believe that's a 12-inch throat for a sewing machine. That's pretty big.
You got it.
This one has a built-in walking foot that walks the top of your fabric evenly with the bottom of your fabric, so you don't have to add a walking foot on. It's built right in. Sherry, somebody's asking, how big is the table on the sit-down?
So the table is 36 by 36, but you can get extensions for each side of it, so you can actually make it 52 by 36.
You can make it wider by adding little leaves that lift up on the sides of the table.
And then they fold down and lift up. So, and the table comes with the machine.
Yep, it's one kit.
There we go. That's better.
These are both QVP models. They're the highest quality that Juki makes. They make them kind of geared towards the quilter because they do make industrial machines for different purposes, and they call them QVP, which stands for Quilt Virtuoso Pro, which is just their high-end quilting products.
And you have to be a top-of-the-line dealer to sell those products. So Mulqueen is our top-of-the-line dealer.
We sure are. We love Juki. We love the sergers, their straight stitch only machines, and these computerized machines that do everything.
Yes. Okay. So I think you can see that pretty good now, and straight on, so you won't get seasick. So the free motion machine I just showed, like you said, is it's just free motion. So I don't spend a lot of time on that. But this machine, oh my gosh, this machine is my new love. I've had it just a couple weeks. I've gone nuts sewing on this machine. As you can tell just from looking at it right off the bat, it is a beautiful looking machine. It does have that 12-inch arm from the edge of the needle to the edge of the machine is 12 inches. So nice, wide, big. You can still do those king size quilts. You can see we have this beautiful color screen here, and we can scroll through it. It does some amazing things here. So I'm going to kind of go in order. When you turn the machine on, it does go directly to the last stitch you were working on. But sometimes we get busy and we don't want to pull our book out and we need to troubleshoot. So we can actually go into support. And in support here, it's going to tell us how to wind a bobbin. It's going to tell us how to attach our extension table. It tells us how to work our speed control. It tells us what our presser foot lift does. If we have kiddos that we need to get a drink of water for or something, and they're playing on the floor, we can actually lock the machine from this screen. So this gives you everything that the book gives you here just at a touch. It even tells you how to do twin needle. If you do want your manual, it's right here in this screen. You can just go ahead and touch it, and now we have our complete manual. So everything is right there for you. So when we're sewing in the middle of the night, or we don't know what we did with our book because it got buried in our quilting supplies, it's right there. We also have our setting menu. So that's going to let us stop with our needle up, needle down. It's going to give us our height on our foot for when we're pivoting. Pivoting is great if you're doing applique. You can change the brightness of your screen. You can turn the sound off. We can also control our speed right in here. So everything is just great on this screen. We can even set it when we're running low on bobbin, which is a brand new feature for Juki. So this is a wonderful thing. Again, we talked about that wonderful foot control that Juki has. So we have our foot control here. This foot control looks a little bit different than what you're used to seeing from Juki. So we have this big pedal here. This big pedal, you step on it, that's our go. And then we have this little pedal here, and this little pedal is programmable. And you can program it to cut your threads, you can program it to stop with your needle up, needle down, or you can program it to automatically lift your presser foot. It can only do one of those functions at a time, but the beauty is you can change it for whichever feature you want. The very first thing I did when I got mine was program this to cut my threads. So this is one of the best things that I love about this machine, and I don't know why I get so geeked out about it, but every time I see this pedal, I program it. I think it's great. So you can see just right here, it's going to tell us, let us just switch everything right away. You will notice that this machine is a wireless machine. We have a setting, oh, I didn't mean to touch it. We have a setting for wireless. So I'm going to jump here, and we can go to Juki Sewing Net. And what that's going to do for us, again, it's going to give us our manual, but it's also going to take you directly to the Juki website. So there's a ton of different projects on there for this machine, for any machine. It tells you the differences between all the machines. It tells you all the features of the machines. It's going to give you troubleshooting on any machine. So you can do all that. You can also access YouTube. So if you're working on a bag, I know right now a lot of the blogs, you can do follow along and make bags to YouTube on this machine and have your tutorial right there. So that is a wonderful feature. And again, it's just right here at a touch of the screen. So the sewing mode here, if you look at this screen, you can see it gives us a ton of information. Like I said, it does go ahead and start off at a straight stitch, but it also tells us what feet are best used for the straight stitch. We have toggle buttons here, so when we start sewing, we can tell it just go ahead and sew. We can tell it to do 3 stitches forward, 3 stitches backwards. We can tell it to do a locking stitch. We can also end it the same way. So we can tell it when you start and when you stop. Go ahead and do those functions. They don't have to be the same functions. They can be different functions. We have presser foot lift on or off? So when we stop, is the presser foot going to lift or is it going to stay down? That's purely a preference thing, but love that feature's right there, and I can turn it off because when I'm piecing, I don't necessarily want it on because I don't want it to shift. But when I'm quilting or I'm appliquing, I do want it on because I want to be able to manipulate my fabric. We can turn our trimmer on and off, so when we get to the end of the seam, it'll automatically cut our threads when we lift our presser foot. So great features right here. You can see our straight stitch. Well, we have some buttons down here. So I have my stitch length, and when I go ahead and turn that, you can see my stitches getting bigger or smaller here on the screen as I turn that. So you can actually see what you're stitching, and you can do that one thread at a time. So you can get that really nice length on your project. So if you're doing top stitching, whatever it is you're doing, you can see it change right there on the screen. If we go to, I went to history, sorry. If we go to a zigzag stitch here, I can change my width right here, and you can see it changing. I can change my width and my length. So you can see it changing right there on the screen, and it's an instant change, so you know exactly what you're getting. You can change your pressure foot pressure. So that doesn't change the integrity of the tension at all. It just is how much pressure there is between your foot and your feed dugs. So the main reason I use that is if I'm sewing curves. That way I can turn my fabric more easily. If we go back here to a straight stitch, I can change my needle position. This is really nice if I need to move my top stitching over a little bit, or if I'm doing a zipper, I can move my needle to the right real quick. I can move it to the left real quick. I can also move it one thread at a time, so I can get right up next to my cording or my zippers, and you can see it changing right there on the screen. So it is so wonderful just to have everything right at my fingertips. Go ahead and switch that back. And then one of the coolest features, and it took me a little while to kind of play with this and figure out really how cool it was, but I can also change my thread tension here right on my screen, and you'll notice that Juki's thread tension starts at 0, 0. So it is an automatic tension, and you are getting a perfect tension when you sit down to sew and you're using good quality threads. You're getting that perfect tension where your threads meet in the middle. But as we turn this, you can see the position of my threads on my tension moving. And so then I can go ahead and tighten or loosen my tension. But again, what's so great about this is if you are sewing with different weight threads, when I do applique, I use a lighter weight thread in my bobbin than I do in my top. Well, I need that top thread to pull down a little bit more. So I can actually control that right here because I want that precision tension. So that is a cool feature. Again, that thread tension starts at 0, and it lets us change it either tighter or looser. But it just is it's a different concept on the tension that I think is just so innovative, and I just love it. So we got that. So you can see right there, I've showed you a bunch of stuff. Let me just show you when we want to switch our stitches here, we just touch our numbers, and you can see we have a ton of different stitches now. These are our practical stitches. And now as we scroll through, we have buttonhole stitches, and we have 15 built-in buttonhole stitches. So the buttonhole function on this machine, this actually is a true industrial feature that Juki has. So let me show you this buttonhole foot right here. All right, so this buttonhole foot you can see is a little bit bigger than what we're used to. And so you can actually put your button in the back, just open that up, put your button in, so you get that perfect buttonhole. And then the buttonhole actually plugs directly into the machine. So you don't have to worry about bumping the apparatus. You don't have to worry about a thread getting caught. The machine is actually reading how big the button is and making your buttonhole the perfect size. So you get that true industrial buttonhole feature with this machine, which is great. And all Juki's machines have that. So super feature, but who couldn't ask for any more buttonholes? 15 buttonholes. We have applique stitches, and we can scroll up through our screen. So, I mean, we have thousands of stitches once you start playing with them and manipulating them. Built into the machine itself, we have, let's see, I do so many machines, I always forget how many we have. We have over 500 stitches actually built in the machine. But once you start manipulating these stitches and tweaking them and joining them together, I mean, you have thousands of stitches. We also have a tapering feature on this machine. So what that's going to do is if we're doing applique, and I'm just going to pick my basic tapering stitch here, it looks just like a zigzag. Well, now what I can do with my tapering stitch is I can go into my tools menu, and I can tell it that I'm turning a corner. So I can go into my tapering menu, and I'm on my top taper, and I'm going to turn it on. Well, now I have all these great degrees that I can use to get to my corners or get to my crevices on my applique. Sunbonnet Sue's a very popular applique. Well, to get to her shoes and her dress, it's very hard to make that angle. Well, Juki's made that super easy for you. So we're going to go ahead and use a 30-degree angle here, and we're just going to touch our screen. Well, now you see the top of my stitch now has an angle. I can go ahead and do that tapering at the bottom as well. So, and I don't have to use the same angle. I can go ahead and maybe I just want one side angled. So I can go ahead and do that. I can also tell it how long I want that to stitch. So it is in millimeters. So I know that about 30 millimeters is a little over an inch. So I can tell it to go ahead and do that wonderful stitch for me, and it's going to do it. So everything is so good there. You can, if you're doing squares, you can actually invert those. Again, it tells you what foot to use. I can go ahead and save that in my history. I don't have anything saved right now, but I can save that in my history. So if I'm doing multiple projects, I can go back and do that. And instead of writing it down, what did I do? Where was I at? I can just go to my history and touch that again. So I'm going to go ahead and move my camera one more time. And I'm going to actually show you how this tapering stitch works. And then I'm going to show you some of the cool straight stitch. So sorry, I don't mean to make you guys dizzy. I know this is crazy, but when we do this at home, this is what we have to do here. All right. So you can see here, oops, get this situated. Again, I'm so sorry. I know this makes everybody dizzy and crazy, but okay, there we go. So now you can see my wonderful piece here, and I lost my fabric. See how I am? I'm losing. Okay, here we go. All right, so to do this tapering stitch, I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. So I actually, the other day I was thinking, I thought, oh my gosh, I could decorate a blouse or a jean jacket or a jean skirt. There's so much I could do with this tapering stitch. But it's going to do a locking stitch, and then it just goes ahead and stitches for me. And then when it gets to the end, it locks it. I'm going to use my cutter here. Raise my presser foot. And you can see that it did that tapering at the top and then my angle at the bottom. And I don't have my width very wide, so let me do that again just so you can see. It's just such a cool feature. I just like to highlight it and let you guys just see how cool it is. Make it a little bit wider here. And we can make our stitches closer together. So it takes all the guesswork out of all my applique now. So I'm going to be an applique fiend. So you can see I got my angle at the top and my angle at the bottom. Now every time I do that, it's going to be exactly the same every time. So that's one of my new favorite features. Like I said, I'm kind of an applique freak, so I love that feature. One of the other unique things, and Darren mentioned it with Juki, is it does have a smart feed system. And the smart feed system actually works on any forward motion stitches. So let me drop this foot here. I want to show you this foot. So in each foot that will go forward, it has a slot here in the back. I think, yeah, you can see that. It has a slot here in the back. So when we go ahead and put that foot on our machine, and they just snap on, the feet just snap on, there is a little piece here, and it's connected directly into the machine, and it just slides right down and into the foot directly. And that engages our Juki Smart Feed system. So when we are doing our stitches here, that Smart Feed system engages, and now we don't have any pulling, or we have none of that craziness that we used to have with our fabric being longer on the end. I know when we do piecing, sometimes we always end up with like a 16th of an inch that doesn't line up, and it drives us crazy. And so I'm trying to find a stitch here. So it makes it just so great to do that. I do a lot of paper piecing, and I use my Smart Feed with my paper piecing. So let me just show you. I have my Smart Feed engaged. And I'm going to go ahead and lower my presser foot here. And so I'm doing a decorative stitch with my Smart Feed. And it just works so well. I do a lot of quilting with decorative stitches. So this feature is just unbelievable. But again, you do have to just make sure you're using forward motion stitches. You can't go in reverse when you have the Juki Smart Feed on. So love that feature. I was mentioning the feet, they have different slots in them. Well, one of the things you get with this machine is this great accessory box, and I should have showed this earlier, so let me pull this back. Oh, that worked out really well. Okay, so we get this great box of accessories with the machine, so you don't have to add a whole lot to it. With that Smart Feed, we give you a guide. You have a rolled hemp foot, and you have a 1/4 inch foot here. We actually have a piecing foot as well. And you can see both of those work with that Juki Smart Feed. We have a zipper foot. We have a straight stitch foot, blind hemp foot. So you get this great plethora of feet, and they come in this box, so you're not losing anything. And then one of my favorite things that comes with this machine is actually the quilting foot, the free motion quilting foot. So this is a quilting foot that is clear, and so you can do your landscaping quilts, you can follow designs. I am not the best at drawing things, so I use a lot of stencils, so I use this foot to follow my stencils. But it also acts as a ruler foot, so again, you're getting that added value, the 2-for-1. So the reason I like to point this foot out is because when we do quilting, we want to go ahead and make sure that we're getting the best stitch possible. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this over here just a little bit so you can see my plate again. So we want to make sure we're getting the best stitch possible. So what Juki has done is they have come out with a system that not only do you change your plate to a single hole needle plate, now we can actually change our feed dogs to a single hole or a straight stitch system. And the way that these feed dogs work is it makes it act like the industrial straight stitch machines. So when you're doing piecing or that top stitching, and especially when I'm doing like stitch in the ditch quilting and my echo quilting and straight lines, my cross hatching, I love this feature of being able to switch out my feed dogs. So let me just show you how easy that is to do. And I'm just going to go ahead and disengage my smart feed system. I pop my foot off, and again, they're all snap-on feet. So we just pop that off, and we pop our plate off, and our machine will actually tell us that we've disengaged our plate. So now it's not going to let us sew, it's not going to let us wreck anything, and I'm just going to move that off to the side, and we just pop those feed dogs right out. And that's it. It is that easy. So as we're looking at these feed dogs, I want to point out that the multi-purpose feed dogs, you have 7 points of contact. You have 2 in the front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when you're doing those decorative stitches, it's really pulling your fabric through very evenly. But when we go ahead and use our straight stitch system, we only have 3 points of contact. So we have nowhere for our fabric to go but straight. So to put those in, we literally just slide this back here, get it lined up. Oh, got it kind of sideways here. Get it lined up, and you just pop those straight down. And then we just pop our plate right back on. And it is just that easy. And now, because, oh, you know what? Look at this. See, there's always something. I always do something. Make sure you get the right plate on. I have the multi-purpose plate on. Make sure we do our straight stitch plate. So you can see it is actually different plates. See, that was my one glitch for today. There we go. All right, pops right back on. No problem. And now we can go ahead and use our different feet. Like I said, we have our straight stitch foot. We have our patchwork foot. So we can use these great feet with this straight stitch plate now. But I want to go ahead and just show you, it is so easy to change this. And I'm just going to change my foot out here. And I always do a little snug here so it's a little tight to get that off. But our foot just comes right off. And we're going to go ahead and put our clear foot on. Just tighten up that screw. And we cinch this up. So now we have turned our domestic machine into an industrial straight stitch machine. And all we have to do is go over to our screen, and we want to drop our feed dogs. Drop our feed dogs in, and right here, they're in a different place now, so they're actually easier to get to. And I want to show you, let me grab that piece that I was quilting on the long arm. Let me just grab that piece here. All right. So when we go ahead and do this, and we drop our foot, our fabric is actually pinched now. Well, that's no good. So what we want to do is we can go over into our settings, and we can actually change how high that foot lifts. And I think you can see that moving, and I'm going to move it pretty drastically. So you can actually see, I was talking about that foot pressure that we can access right there from the screen. And we can actually see our foot moving up and down. So we can accommodate for those thicker layers, and we can accommodate for that thicker batting. And just that easy. We can change all that. And now I can move my fabric freely. I'm going to move it up just a teeny bit more. I can move my fabric very freely. So now when I go ahead and do that free motion, it just makes things so much nicer on this machine. And I do have different color threads in this machine. So I really do, I do have a lighter weight in the bobbin. But you can see how beautiful that stitches. And as I get to the point where it kind of starts puckering, all I have to do is just change that pressure just so quickly, just change that pressure. And now it just smooths everything out for me. And this works in your everyday sewing, not just your free motion. It works when you have your regular foot on. So when we are doing jeans and we're doing our straps on our purses, we can change that to work with that Juki Smart Feed, and we can change it to work with any presser foot that we have. So great, great feature. Another question I get a lot on this machine is, can we, since it does everything, can you do stitch regulation on it? Well, you can't do stitch regulation on it, but what you can do is you can set your speed control so that it doesn't go very fast. And then we can actually go ahead and unplug our foot control. And when we unplug our foot control, this green button here now will engage. And what that's going to let us do when I touch this, it's going to let the machine run, and it's going to run at a constant speed. So I don't have to worry about, am I slowing down? Am I speeding up? What's going on? I can just have it run at a constant speed. And as I get more comfortable, I can speed that up. As I am doing more tedious things, I can slow that down. So now you truly have that great long arm machine, but here in your domestic machine. One other thing that I like about this machine is it does come with this great extension table. The extension table is 22 inches by 12 inches. You just pull off your accessory box and slide your extension table on. We do have a free arm, so you can do those cuffs on your jeans, the cuffs on your shirts. Right now, being at home, I was seeing a trend in people doing applique on onesies for their babies. So you can use your free arm for that. So it has so many wonderful, great features on it that I literally have not had enough time to really play with it and do everything I want to do with it. But every time I sit down at this machine, I learn more and more about it. So, if you got questions, go ahead and type them in. Darren will refer them to me, and I'll go ahead and answer them to you. But like I said, I just cannot say enough about this machine. The more I play with it, the more I love it. And you can see in my sample here, this is a red, white, and blue quilt that I did, and each heart on here has a different applique stitch that's built into the machine. And so, just play with the machine, just love it as much as I do. I can't say that this is my new affair. I'm with it all the time. What do you think, Darren? Did I show you some stuff you didn't know?
Sure did. I love this machine. Look, I put mine out right in front of me.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, we're very excited about the machine. The screen is amazing. The space that you get inside the table.
And all the wonderful accessories it comes with. It's incredible.
The foot controller was very nice. Because we just got this. This is so brand new to us as well.
Oh, so I taught you a lot of stuff you didn't know about this machine, huh?
Yeah. Now I'm even more excited. But even the foot pedal is wonderful. Has a little step switch on the side for cutting. Can you set that for other things? I guess I...
So you can do it for cutting, needle up, needle down, and to raise and lower your presser foot.
I like that. I like that.
Yep.
You don't have to pull forward on your foot pedal. You can just, this little lever on the side
Yep, you just swing it over. And if you don't like it, you can actually turn it off. You don't have to have it if you don't like it.
It's this side step pedal.
Yep. That was the very first thing I did when I got my machine, was program that. I think that foot pedal is the best thing ever.
Yeah, this is going to be a big seller for us because the big throat machines is like the thing that everybody wants. This is a 12-inch throat. Is that correct?
Yes, you got it. 12 inches.
So every time a new machine comes out that's bigger and better, it's always going to be the biggest seller of that time period.
I'm sorry, Kira, it's a 7mm machine.
Yep, 7mm Kyra. So that means that, standard snap-on feet. So it's not as hard, not as limited. You can pretty much use any 7mm kind of foot. Does it alert when the bobbin has almost run out of thread?
You can set that in the settings menu. Yes, you can.
We love that.
And you can do it based on, you can have multiple settings in there. So if you have thinner thread that you're quilting with, and then thicker thread that you're actually piecing with, you can actually do 2 different settings. So you don't have to change it each time. You can just tell it I'm sewing with 40 weight thread or 30 weight thread or whatever, and it'll do that. The machine is the Juki DX4000. It's brand new. It came out this October-ish. That's when they really started promoting it. The long arm was the J350 QVP.
And Marnie, I have a quick PowerPoint right after this that'll explain how wonderful our special is on these, and I have the model numbers there. Here's just going through some of the questions that had come up in the past. Does it come with a straight stitch plate?
Yeah, so that was the DX4000 does, and that was the last thing I showed here. You can switch that out, and then you switch the feed dogs out as well to work with the straight stitch plate.
That is quite a unique feature. Nobody else does that.
No, it's awesome, and it really does turn it into that precision industrial straight stitch. It weighs about 35. It's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit beefier. It doesn't jump around when you sew.
You want it to be heavy when it becomes this size. You want it to have that metal structure.
Yep. Is it sitting on a table? I just have it on a sewing table that I have, but you can put it on any tabletop. But the extension table that Darren's holding up comes with it.
And I just have it on our cutting table that happens to be sitting in front of me.
Yeah, you can put it on any table. It is portable. It does come with a handle. So if you're sewing in a spare bedroom or at your kitchen table, if you don't have a designated area, you can go ahead and store it. It also, I never use mine just because I did not learn how to sew this way, and I love the needle or the function that you can bring your presser foot up and down. It does come with a knee lift to raise and lower your presser foot. That's what that knee lift does. That comes with it. But I just leave my function to raise and lower my presser foot on, so I don't use that knee lift, but it does come with it.
Yeah, this machine has the feature of the pivot, so.
And you can set that pivot height. You can set it lower or higher, and that way you're not really losing your place when you're pivoting.
It automatically raises for you, right?
You can program it not to if you don't want it to. I don't like it to raise when I'm piecing. I feel like it shifts my fabric a little bit. That's just a preference. So when I'm piecing, I turn it off. But when I'm doing garment sewing or applique, I love that pivot feature, that it just automatically raises for me. Yep.
Well, this is quite an unveiling. We love this machine. It's going to go on our floor, so it'll be here to test drive, put it through its paces. We'll be doing that ourselves. We know that it has amazing reviews already. And we have an amazing price for you. If there's no more questions, any other questions? It could be Juki related questions of any kind, really, but no questions right now. So we are going to, I just want to make sure that there's no questions. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and thank you so much once again for the insight here.
Well, thank you, Darren. Thanks for inviting me in this week. I've had a great time. As always, I always enjoy being with you guys, and I'll be happy when COVID's over and we can do this in person. But until then, I hope I get to see us more.
Yep, thank you very much.
Thanks, Darren.
Have so much fun. We'll see you. Be safe. So this is the time where I show you how wonderful our deal is and why you should take advantage of it. We're going to do a quick little PowerPoint with my little trusty switcher here. So the first machine that I have on my PowerPoint is the Juki DX4000. It is a QVP model. A couple of photos close up so you can see the button configuration. We have the foot up and down. You have your needle up, down, your scissor cut, your tie off. That's a new function that instead of a big bulky back tack, you can do tie off, especially for quilting. It has on the needle plate, you don't have to pick up your bobbin thread anymore. It has where it holds your bobbin thread in place, so you just start sewing. This is showing the plug-in for the buttonhole. So you have a professional buttonhole and the needle threader. The case, even the front of the case, the free arm piece with the accessories is way nicer than anything I've seen, where how it holds all the feet. That's the hanging walking foot. So you pull it down when you need it, when you need that extra pull on the top, and it is from the center of your foot. But it has a nice even pull. It's an even feed function. And there's the back side. There is a back container of the free arm. And the table that I have on ours, all the accessories, the straight stitch plate there. There's a knee bar. And it does come with a cover. It's a hard cover, so it's better than just your standard lightweight dust covers. So it's $54.95. But wait, we're taking $1,500 off of that price. So we're offering this machine right now for $39.95. But wait, there's more. If you buy now during our event, you will receive a $250 shopping spree for fabric that we have. So if you purchase this machine, it's $39.95. We will send you the gift card to have a little shopping spree, a little bonus for buying during our expo. We always have to have something exciting for you. So you can take advantage of this machine. Not only do you get a discounted price, but you also have, yes, the extension table. It does come with the machine. You get a $250 shopping spree. And if you want to do financing, we can do financing here in the store. So you'd have to come into one of our locations. If you have any other questions on this machine, you can always email or come into the store, because we do have them in stock and we have them in our stores for demo. That's the Juki DX4000 QVP. Yes, everyone, you're allowed to have more than one of these. The max you can buy is 2. Just kidding. You can have as many as you want. We do have limited stock, but we can always get more right now. They're available right now. Our other model that we have shown today is the Juki 350. It's a J350 QVP, so it is also the Quilt Virtuoso Pro. They make this model 2 ways. We have it on our floor as a sit down with the stitch regulation. They call it Smart Stitch. That is the table that it comes with. It is as commercial as the machine is. It is a strong machine. It's $69.95. And right now we are offering, got a little lag on our computer, but it's $1,000 off right now, making it $59.95. But wait, there's a plus sign coming up. We are just waiting for our laptop. And if you buy this right now, we will ship it anywhere in the US. You will get a $350 shopping spree for fabric. The Jane Wilcox is asking if this machine is computerized. This one is. If you're asking about the one that's on the screen right now, the Juki J350, that is not computerized. You would generally only computerize it on a frame so that it'll move your whole machine to do your quilting. So that is it. That wraps up our Juki section of our presentation this week. We did have Juki on the other day showing the air threading sergers and the Juki TL series machines. We have those on our website available still. We have the event pricing going on all week long, so take advantage of that. If you need a machine, we are shipping for free. If you're here locally, you can pick it up right at the store. We have on the TL series, we're one of the only people that have them in stock, I believe, because we did order a lot of them. We have the 3 different models of the TL series. Says, should we give the cabinet video a shot while we wait for Sweet Pea design? We might consider doing that here shortly. So I want to thank you for watching the Juki presentation. We do have the one and only Sweet Pea company coming up. We're very excited for this. I've been waiting probably 4 or 5 years to do something with Sweet Pea because they are from Australia, so it's kind of hard to get them to do a hands-on event in Arizona. But we are lucky enough to do this virtually right now. They're going to have a trunk show. They are going to do a video on how to make a zippered pouch in the embroidery hoop. So you won't want to miss that. We were going to play that video a different time, but we're going to play it during their segment so they can be there to answer questions, which is so much better than us just playing it randomly. So we've had this video now since COVID started because we were going to do something way back when, and it's finally time for Sweet Pea to be here with us. So we are very, very excited. And that starts at 4 p.m. We are not going to end this live stream. We're just going to pause it for right now. So just know that you can stay right here. We'll just put up our little hold screen, and we will be right back. If you have any questions on Juki, you would just go to mulqueen.com. That's our family website, and right on the home page there is a very large banner on the top of the page. Click that banner, and it'll take you to all of the manufacturers that we are showing over these 6 days during our expo. And you can choose Thursday. You'll see on the Thursday all of our companies, Floriani that we had this morning, Shannon Fabrics, Faymore Scissor, and Juki. You just click on whatever link that you're interested in. You then have the opportunity to save lots of money and get free gifts with purchase too. If you don't mind, to just hang in there. We'll be back here shortly. We'll be back here with Sweet Pea. Very excited.
Wait, Darren.
Hey, we're down under.
No, that's the other people. They're all from Australia. You're the one that's supposed to be straight up. They're on.
All right, let me just turn her over. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Welcome back. We are so excited for Sweet Pea embroidery. It's been a long time coming for this moment. When I hear people rumbling about these cool in the hoop designs, and they tell me that it's Sweet Pea, and I hear this name over and over again, I'm like, who is Sweet Pea? So I've been wanting them to come to Arizona because they are from down under. They are in Australia right now. And so it's hard to connect live in person. So we are so excited to have this opportunity to talk to Allison and Annette. They are sisters and they are in Australia. We are going to give away some gift cards. We are going to give away other prizes. If you share our feed, we would love that. We have quite a few people watching right now live. We're hoping to get more because the more people that are viewing right now live, the more prizes we will give away. So if you know any friends that have an embroidery machine, if you don't mind to share this feed with them, because this is something special. We've never had Sweet Pea here with us before, and we are so excited for this moment. I can see their set. It looks beautiful. So we are ready to.
Did you explain how many gift cards you're giving away?
Oh, on the gift cards, we are going to give away 4 $11 gift cards. That way more people can win. That equals $44, and we've been doing $44 gift cards because we are 44 years in business. My parents have started this business in 1977, and this is our first big virtual event all week long, different companies. So we decided instead of one person winning the $44, we're going to spread the love and do 4 people to win $11. And we'll have other prizes as well. We are going to bring in the one and only Sweet Pea Company. I'm so excited. Why, hello! We need to get them unmuted so we can hear everything exciting. I think Jared's working on that. Yeah. Nope. So we are just going to get our sound going and look at all those cool items that they have around them. One thing about Sweet Pea is they do a lot of in the hoop stuff that is very popular, like zipper bags. And while Jared's working on getting the, do you have mute on your side there? So we're just going to wait just a few moments while we get everything situated. Right now in Arizona, it is 4 p.m. and it is right now 9 a.m. in Australia, from what I understand. So if you guys need to know what is going to happen, they've already seen what's going to happen because they're so many hours ahead of us. So we can ask them any questions that we need to know because it's already 9 in the morning. I think maybe 10 in the morning in Australia right now. So
I think that their main camera is still muted.
We're thinking that the main camera is still muted.
The one up that it's looking at you guys right now.
So we're just going to work on that.
Okay,
oh.
now we're fine.
Oh, yeah,
there we go.
Hello.
We can hear you. Hi. How are you?
Out Aussies. We've got to shout a long way across the ocean.
Yes, it is amazing. I'm so glad to be here with you, and we are so excited to see what you guys are, to find out all about your company, where you started. I'm hoping that you'll share a little bit of the insight into Sweet Pea embroidery, and in a little bit we'll play that video of the zippered purse to show how that is done, and I'm going to go ahead and gracefully bow out now that we've got sound.
Okay, thanks.
And people, please ask questions. We're watching your comments and questions on the side, so please ask questions. And if we don't answer them during the presentation, we'll definitely get to them at the end with a question answer. But for now.
Thank you. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Brisbane in Queensland in Australia. It's actually, as Darren said, morning here, so I want to say good morning to everyone, but it's probably nighttime or all different times all over the world. Yeah, depends which part of the world that you're in. This is our Sweet Pea head office, and I'm Alison Nash. I started Sweet Pea, and this is my sister Annette.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks, Darren, for inviting us.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You probably recognise Annette's name if you're a Sweet Pea addict, like a lot of you are. She is very involved in our Facebook group, which we'll talk about later. First of all, I might tell you a little bit about how Sweet Pea got started. I'd like to say for that too that it's been going for about 2 years, but it's probably about 6 now. So, but it's
it feels like a lot longer than 6 actually. It feels like we've been doing this for quite a while.
Well, a bit most of our life, but actually we sort of did do a lot of sewing together and everything most of our lives. So it probably does feel a little bit like that.
It's just been a continuation of our crafting, really, isn't it? Our hobby.
I actually have sewn my whole life. I started when I was very young, like probably a lot of sewers do. I was so interested in it for Christmas one year. She bought me a toy sewing machine, which I think lasted about 2 days because I hated it and drove Mum even more crazy.
I'm pretty sure it was battery, so the batteries ran out.
I was only like about 4 or something. Yeah. Was it yours too? I can't remember, but probably bought it for both of us.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah. Anyway, and she had to keep threading it. It didn't stitch properly. So anyway, so then she just relented and let us on the real sewing machine. And it started from there. We've both sewn our whole lives. Our mother taught us. Our grandmothers, both of them, were actually tailoresses, I think they called it in those days, working for wedding dress companies and everything as absolutely amazing sewers. And then on my dad's side, that grandmother was actually a milliner.
She made beautiful hats.
Absolutely gorgeous. So we buried her with one of her favourites, which is lovely. And I think we've got a couple of old ones at home. You still got
I've got the hats.
The bust thing that's
it's like a timber mould that the hats
that's
are made on. Yeah, it's just I'm not going to even throw that out.
No, it's precious. Anyway, so I guess you could say that we have sewing in our genes, basically. And now we also have just about everyone in the family working here. We have a brother too. He's not involved in this business. He's a busy businessman of his own. But Annette's daughter is actually Deanna, and she's the one behind the camera.
Yeah, you can just pop up today.
She's not
she's too shy. She's shy. She's the director today.
Yeah. But actually, Annette was my first employee, and that was a long time ago. I started business myself, ended up with the Facebook group. And once the Facebook group was up to like 5,000 people or 10,000 people, I couldn't handle it. And it had another job. I'll let her tell you
First of all,
how she came.
Are you going to tell them the story about how you got into machine embroidery?
Oh, gosh.
Come on.
I could get in trouble.
Who from?
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, of course, I always wanted an embroidery machine, but they were way out of my price range. So I used to see them at shows and everything, thought I'll never be able to get one of those. Then I was always quilting, and it's a lot to embroider a whole quilt. So I was sending it away to a long arm quilter to have it quilted. And then I thought, well, those embroidery machines, they sell quilting sort of designs or whatever. So that's why I really wanted one. And one day my sewing machine spool broke, when you printed the one on the top. So I did say to my husband that my machine was broken and I needed a new machine.
Completely broken machine because it had a spool.
So I needed a new machine. So he relented and I bought one.
It was a second-hand one though, wasn't it?
I bought a second-hand one, yeah, that's all I could afford to start with. And then, funnily enough, later on, I did relent, and I told him, and I said, well, actually, I saw the spools on eBay or on the internet, I can't remember where now, and they're only like about $8. So I probably didn't really need a new machine, but anyway, it led to all this. So we've been very lucky.
Yeah.
And then I really started designing because I couldn't find the sort of things I liked because I think coming from more of the actual sewing background, I wanted to sew and just incorporate machine embroidery in it. So that's how that happened. And I was working at home in my garage, as I said, and I needed someone desperately to help me because I was working from, I think I was getting up about 5 and working till midnight every day. Not that much has changed now.
No.
But anyway, so you can tell them.
So then I thought I'd help my little sister out because she needed someone. So I thought I'd give up my full-time job by sleepwalking and falling downstairs and breaking my back.
Yes.
So then I couldn't go back as a retail manager to a full-time job standing up on a shop floor every day.
No.
So
it was a very scary time.
It was very scary. I didn't know whether I was going to
walk again.
No. But anyway, it was exactly at the same time that you were saying to get too busy and you couldn't handle it yourself. So
I wanted to help you.
Yeah, you did. Of course you did. We've always had these ideas to do things together, haven't we? So
we won't tell anyone about the jelly beans on the jar.
No.
that wasn't good.
The car park sales out of the car boots and stuff with our sewing.
Yeah.
But so it was all well timed really, and that's when I started working for you. And that first year we just got busier and busier, didn't we?
Yeah. And then it said we've had crazy ideas before and worked on things. So
So you weren't really sure if this was going to be a crazy idea or not a crazy idea at the beginning, did you? Because
I didn't know that this was going to, because a lot of people also asked me how the name Sweet Pea came about, and I have reasons which I will tell you, but also I honestly didn't really think about it too much because I didn't think that it was going to become anything. So anyway, so it's called Sweet Pea, and it comes from multiple things. So the latest part of it was that my daughter, when she was little, we all used to call her Sweet Pea, so I had that. But the reason I called her Sweet Pea was because we used to go over to our grandparents' place probably every week. I think we had to help our grandmother do the grocery shopping, or my mother did anyway. And our grandfather had a beautiful vegetable patch and had sweet peas in it. And we used to love going down there. We used to pick the peas, and then we'd go up and we'd shell the peas with grandma. And with Pop, we used to pick the flowers, and he'd put them in a little vase and take them up to
little
us.
posy.
Yeah, so some of my best memories. Anyway, so when I had to name something, that was what came into my mind.
So I think I'm just looking down now, so there's lots of people have joined in. I have to wear my glasses. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yes.
I don't know how many of you there are, but there seems to be an awful lot of people.
Yeah. I'm just glad that you can hear us and everything, because we were worried about our internet in this building. It's always not wonderful.
It's always scary when you go live.
So if you lose us for a little while, just go and do a bit of sewing and come back, and we'll be here.
We'll probably still be here just rabbiting on like we do.
Anyway,
it's a cup of coffee so we can actually.
So anyway, that's how you came to work here.
Yes.
And then after that, I think you didn't know how to do machine embroidery.
No, I didn't.
So,
I knew how to sew.
And it lived about an 8-hour drive from me. So we weren't even in the same building working. So I had to teach Annette over the phone how to do machine embroidery.
And I can remember it was funny when I first got the machine, because it doesn't have the foot pedal like a sewing machine.
I know.
My foot was on the ground and I was looking for the pedal. And I was thinking, how does this thing work?
I still do that now, actually, when I've been doing a lot of sewing to maybe join quilt blocks or something like that.
But even back then, Alison, the instructions were so clear that I could follow them from afar. So we proved it. But we've tweaked them a lot since then. Yeah.
Anyway, so back to the family.
Yes.
So you and then Annette's daughter, Alyssa, wanted to move to Brisbane, to a big city sort of thing, to get a job. So
we did testing.
We needed to test it, So we put her on. She was next.
She was testing.
And
Alyssa's never sewn at all. She's never even sewn with the sewing machine.
And then I think lovely Emma was the next one.
Yes,
right?
yes, she was.
And Emma is just amazing. She's one of the great designers here. I mean, I did it all myself for a few years, and then I had to get help with that as well. But actually, we put Emma on as a sewer. She didn't really make a big deal about that she could draw or anything, did she? I knew her mother, and her mother owns a quilt store, and I just knew Emma was amazing at sewing. So Emma came to work as a sewer, and then we found out she's actually an amazing artist. So
she's wonderful.
Anyway, so Emma's next, and this is in Brisbane, because I can see a couple of people asking, we're in Brisbane, Australia. I can't remember the order of everyone, but we've got a lot of people working here now. My daughter finished a degree in advertising and digital design, so she's here doing advertising, and then my son.
So we've got a very young staff.
Yeah.
I mean, Alison and I, we're the oldest. Oh,
Yes.
no, well, Martin's come in. We put Martin on.
Yes, thank you, Martin.
Martin's just, I think he's a year older than me, maybe. But we like having young staff because they keep everything fresh and they always have nice new ideas.
And a bit of energy as well.
Okay, so the first thing that I had to learn, I think you had around this. That was a different purse. It was to learn how to do zipper purse when you were teaching me remotely, and it was a flower.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't have that design anymore, but this is the beginner purse. It's a zipper purse, and it's made completely in the hoop. It comes with about 28 pages of instructions. So we've had people say, "Oh, why is there so many pages of instructions?" But particularly because this is a beginner purse, we have photos at every single step, and we do with all of our instructions, don't we, Alison?
Yeah.
But we found that if we gave you enough instructions and you followed them to a T, if you could do the applique, if you could understand the concept, do the applique, the stitching, even put the zipper in the hoop.
Yeah. The
You'd be
zipper
able
is
to
a
do
type of
anything.
applique when you think about it.
It is
Because
actually.
you're doing a placement line and then putting the zipper on it, which is really
And then
like,
it gets stitched down.
like applique.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we still offer for free for
Yes,
anyone.
that's still on the website.
A lot of people, they're scared of the zip
Zip
part. Yeah,
yeah.
so it's terrific, and we've got even more photos in our usual instructions.
I will
on
say
that.
the first thing I did the first zipper purse I did, and I think everybody who does zipper purses the first time they did, you've got the little zipper pull. You always have to make sure you follow the instructions when it tells you to pull it across or keep it to the side.
This lady says when they do funny taste testing videos, which if anyone follows us, you'll know we do we did a live video from here yesterday in our Sweet Pea group. And Sylvana's from England, so my son gave her a taste testing of Australian products. Actually, we've got an Australian table runner.
Yeah, well, we did all of this on the video the other day because it was Australia Day this week in
But
Australia.
anyway,
So
we've got
this
enough
is one of
money
our
for people.
Australian designs. It's our Australian animal table runner. Emma designed that one. It comes in three different size hoopings: 5x7, 6x10, and 7x12.
And that's been absolutely so popular. We've actually come out with some others, but
Yeah.
we keep talking about
So
the Australian first.
this is a couple of add-on blocks that can be added into that table runner, or you can mix and match, or you could just use one of them in bag or whatever. So that's our kangaroo and our koala. Now these two happened because about this time last year we had the terrible Australian bushfires where a lot of our Australian wildlife and fauna were decimated. We lost them.
Really captured the
It did,
the
and we
whole
didn't.
world's
We didn't actually
attention.
realise that the whole world was watching until customers started saying we'd love to be able to help somehow. And that's why we came out. These are charity designs. So all the money raised from the sales of these two add-on blocks goes towards our wildlife fund charity.
It's called WIRES, which is Wildlife Rescue or something, but in Victoria where,
Yeah, it's
where
to-
the fires were.
It's to rehabilitate the animals and all of that sort of thing. So that's
And
still
actually,
going.
with the money from those fires, I believe they're building more animal hospitals.
Yeah.
So I think they were too slow to get the money out for that
Yeah.
fire, which a lot of people are concerned about. But they're putting it into investing because Australia is the land of drought and rain. So we have a lot of bushfires.
But we also wanted to, we know that there's fires everywhere else in the world. We saw it on our news just recently that California has sort of the same climate as us and the same bush, I think, around it as we do. They had terrible fires. So we've actually got a charity design on our website. I don't have
It's a
the
dog and his
it's a Dalmatian, which is we
Dalmatian.
looked it up. We did some research and the Dalmatian is the mascot for the fire brigade or fire stations over there. So it's a cute little Dalmatian. All the money raised from that will go to help our compatriots over in the US and California for them, their firefighting. So that's that.
Well, so that sort of leads into these ones.
Yeah, their latest
So
design.
these are a couple of new releases, and I'll just show you them because they actually have the same size and shape blocks and everything. I suppose if I did one at a time, that would be easier.
Help them like that.
So, so as you can see, it's got the same, like a border piece of fabric that's done in the block. And this is our Australian birds collection, and there are a variety of parrots and lorikeets, and that's a rosella, pink galah, and a black parrot, or black galah or something. They're all done with the applique method. We actually do most of our designs, I would have to say, are applique over full embroidery. I personally just like the finish better. It takes a lot less time to do. You don't have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of stitches. And as you can see from these beautiful designs, you can get even a better effect, I think, from the applique. If it has some, it's not just a satin stitch around there.
No,
it's absolutely gorgeous.
Probably the best one to show would be this one with the shading. The shading that we can get in our stitching is amazing.
Yeah.
So the giraffe, he's just like a plain blended yellow fabric. But Silvana, who's our other very talented digitizer here, has she's done all the shading, and these are applique pieces with she's used like a minky fabric. So they're appliqued down, like placed down, stitched, and then they've got beautiful satin stitch around. But then all the shading here, that's all embroidery on the hyena. All of this is shading on the leopard.
The eyes on the leopard are just absolutely amazing. Actually, what's funny, when you do these designs and you start just with your fabric in the hoop, it's like the animal comes to life. And especially when you start doing those final pieces, it's like, oh, it's looking
I mean, Silvana even says she names all of her animals when she's designing them. And, you know, when they are coming alive, they just take on a character, a personality, don't they?
Yeah.
But
so another interesting thing that we do is we can do stuffed animals in the hoop. We do bags in the hoop, quilts and everything. So this is the cutest llama I've ever seen, and that's not being biased because I didn't design it.
No,
Silvana designed this one.
Yeah,
and he's absolutely gorgeous.
So all of that details there, it's all embroidered.
Yeah.
So all of that's appliqued in with pretty decorative.
So the llama's the body and everything himself is all made in the hoop, and then you do a separate hooping for the legs, and we've attached them there with yarn. We've put buttons on ours, but I know for small children, you shouldn't be using buttons.
No, I just you just use one of those really big doll needles, and then you just get through it.
Actually, funnily enough, I think most of the feedback we get are people are making it for teenagers. Yeah. Anyway, so because teenagers and people that love llamas probably even more than little kids, and so then we've got a bag,
no drama llama,
and as you can see, there's a lot you can do with machine embroidery if you don't already use an embroidery machine. These panels are made in the hoop, and then we give instructions on how to join them and add the borders and box out the corners and everything. And it's as simple as anything.
So there's the nice box out corners.
Yeah. This one, even that braid was attached in the hoop, using sort of a similar method to adding a zipper in the hoop.
And then the rickrack's put on, but then there's also embroidery that looks like rickrack.
It's gorgeous.
On the back is
that's right. On the back is this too.
So they're two rectangular 6x10 hoopings there.
You can make a quilt out of them as well.
Flip and fold.
Actually, I should make a llama quilt.
So the good thing I like about our designs, Alison, is when each individual hooping, because it's a shape of a rectangle usually, or we can do square ones.
Yeah.
You can mix and match any 6x10 hooping in any other 6x10 design.
You can.
So if you like the look at this bag at the back, but you didn't particularly like llamas, you could put in
that's what you could use your Australian animals.
You could put a koala at the front. you can do anything. So
and we love that. We encourage it. A lot of designers don't let you change the design or anything, but we're quite happy for that. We're trying to encourage just sewing, as much as machine embroidery. We're not just we sell the machine embroidery designs, but it's actually about the sewing and getting the finished look of a sewn product,
and
more than just an embroidery on something.
And then we try and teach different sewing techniques into things like the boxing of the bottom of a bag and things that you wouldn't normally do. There's a couple more stuff.
This is our. Well, it can be a horse or a unicorn because we've added wings to the design.
Yes. So this is Star Queen.
Star Queen.
So she's a Star Queen because she's a unicorn that flies. So I think there's another word for that. She's got a little.
I thought it might be just one of Silvana's funny names because Silvana and Emma, to liven up their day probably, they both love animals and everything gets a name.
But if you left all of this off, if you left the wings and the unicorn's horn off,
Yeah,
it'd be
it's
like
just gorgeous
it'd be
horse.
a little horse.
And all the hair and everything's added in the hoop, which is just yarn or wool, whatever you want to call it. And that's just another example of
a little sloth. That's very
easy.
He's very easy. And with these sort of things, it's the fabric that makes it as well, isn't it? The fabric choices. And that's a really good thing that I like about our Facebook group, really, is the community participation, where we encourage everyone to post photos of what they make. I mean, you spend a lot of time making something. It's lovely to actually share it, you know.
It's the old thing, because I remember when I was a kid and I had to show mum and dad or you were made, and then when you get older you show your husband and they go, that's nice,
There are some ladies out there with those supportive husbands who actually come sometimes.
I think most husbands are supportive, but I don't know if they can actually appreciate you know, the beauty of the thing that we've made or whatever.
But, you know, sharing the photos of your work in the group encourages others to have a go. You know, people might think that they can't make a bag, they can't make a stuffed toy, but by listening to people, you know, their stories while they're posting their photos of what they've made, gives them encouragement. And it's good to get ideas, you know, like.
I think that people are saying, can they see close-ups? So Deanna, who doesn't want to be on camera, I'm thinking maybe she could just
get your arm into the screen.
When we talk about something just for a second afterwards, she can hold them up and pass the other runner.
Yeah.
And Deanna can just quickly show you some close-ups.
We do have close-up shots on the website too of the products, but Deanna can do that. That's good, Deanna. Good job.
Yeah.
We'll keep you another day.
That's right.
Thank
you. She can stay. I forgot to say that then Deanna joined us. I didn't mention her.
Oh, well, we're
saving the best to last.
Yes, saving the best for us. She's also our newest employee. How long have you been here, Deanna?
Since June.
Since June.
6 months.
6 months.
Did you want to just quickly show the Australian animals one?
She's trying to get out of the camera.
I'm not camera ready.
There you go.
What about the llama and the...
Oh, you're getting into this now, Deanna.
Okay, and then that'll be a bit of the end of show and tell for a little while, Deanna, until we need to again.
And then when we've talked about a few more things. Is that better? Yeah. Okay.
We actually do have another little freebie on the website that people can try if they like. That's not there. So we really like folk art type embroidery. So this is a zipper purse.
No, Deanna might hold that one up.
The scissors.
That's a freebie.
That's free on the website. So that's another good one. If you're not comfortable doing zippers, it'll show you how to do the zippers.
And actually that's
comes in multiple sizes.
And they're completely lined actually in the hoop. So when you take them out, inside there's no raw seams or anything. Just up the top there you can see the inside of the zipper, but actually inside. Yeah, and then
we have a matching zipper purse. This is for sale on the website. This comes in 3 sizes: 5x7, 6x10, and 7x12. And it's got a zipper section along the front there too. But that's all beautiful embroidery. So you could have a matching set. Purchase that one, and then that one's free.
Actually, talking about zippers, maybe we should talk about our zippers.
We can talk about our new zippers that have come out. Oh. We've all just walked off the screen.
Yeah. This design's not even released yet, but it's coming. But it has our beautiful zippers on it, and as you can see, they're a metallic, like a nylon metallic, so you can actually use them in your sewing and just sew straight over them, unlike the actual metallic zippers. The thing that's special about ours is that the teeth are a size 3, which is what a normal dress zipper type size teeth are, and an embroidery machine can sew over them. We did purchase some a while ago, but they were the size 5s, and they have the wider area of teeth. And I broke every single needle trying to stitch over it, and ended up having to skip steps and do that. So that's why we've actually come up with some especially for machine embroidery, and they're absolutely sparkly.
They come in, well, if anyone who knows Alison and I are the queens of bling, really.
Sort of.
we love bright colours. Yeah. We love our costume jewellery. We love anything bright and happy. So we had so much fun picking the colours for these zippers.
Yeah.
2 different sizes. There's a shorter and a longer
That's right, so you can show
set.
that, yeah. Oh,
So there's one that's that one's 9.5 inches long or 24 centimeters long, and this one is 13.5 inches long or 34 centimeters long.
And so they also come in 3 packs and 6 packs. I've got the 3 packs, and then
So you see, there's got doubles in there.
so hers is 2-sided.
There's packs that come with multicolours, so you've got beautiful silver gold and rose gold, and the tape. Jen, do you want to show that one? The tape on that one is all glittery as well.
So
So
we have a 6 jewels one.
I might give this one.
On the back of that. Yeah. And we have jewel tones as well. There's a red, a pink, a violet. There's a green, and then a darker bright blue and more of an aqua blue.
And then there's black tapes as well.
Oh yeah, black. That's right. We've got
So there's coloured tapes, gold, silver, rose gold, and then there's black or white tapes.
Yeah, there's every combination we could possibly think of.
So we
the
had
website.
fun the day that the truck turned up with all the boxes of all the zippers trying to sort all these out. But that's the zippers.
Yeah.
So we're going to have more and more zipper sort of purses and bags and things to be made with them.
And then we've got our beautiful quilt, which
Can you
see it?
So with those
You see
zippers, we have, because we're in Australia, and you know Australia is a long way from anywhere in the world. It takes us like a whole day to get anywhere from Australia.
Yeah.
We have a distribution warehouse in Australia for our Australian and New Zealand customers, and from America and anyone else in the world, it ships from in America. So the USA. So,
So
if you're in
don't
the
worry
USA,
about that, thinking
it'll be
that we
quick.
have to send everything all the way over. I hope you can see enough of that quilt. It's our new Bloom Delight quilt.
Yep, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And that's made with new fabric that Alison designed herself, which is called Sweet Shop Collection. And they called it Sweet Shop Collection because it's just beautiful candy sort of colours, isn't it?
It is really.
Marbles.
And I just love this sort of thing because it's perfect in applique as well.
Yeah.
You can use like this area, like if you use this area here, you've got like a nice blue and green, like you could use that for a part of your ocean or anything. And then there's different colours all through them. So you can actually, each piece is very versatile.
That's right.
For applique.
Deanna might want to show that butterfly hanger that's here, Deanna, because that's got all the pieces of applique.
What's butterfly hanger?
The butterfly table hanger.
Oh, this
Yeah.
table hanger.
That's got all of the...
So this one is done in a horizontal block. So I think it comes in 5x7, 6x10, and then some bigger ones. We've also brought that same design out in 4x4, 5x5, a square one. So people who only have a 4x4 machine can also make it. It was very popular. Thank you.
So
A modelling girl.
we've got this is a talking about bags. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is our woodland animal bag. So this has been made in I would say it was a 6x10.
Yeah, that's the 6x10.
6x10 hoopings there.
Yeah. So if you actually make it in the 5x7, each of the 3 blocks will then just be a 5x7 block. So the bag will be smaller. And if you make it in a 7x12, you can make an even larger bag. A lot of people buy them sort of as a diaper bag, or once the kids are just probably past that stage.
Or you take your children to play group or something.
Occupy them in a shopping centre or doctor's surgery or something.
So we've got a little fox, a raccoon,
Yeah.
and a bear. We also have an Australian animal bag.
Yeah.
That's on tour somewhere at the moment. In the back room somewhere, we've got him stored away. He's got a kangaroo, a galah, and a koala.
Yeah.
So they live in. So these are tree stumps, and they've got the holes in it for the animals.
We like to use other fabrics and everything as well. We always have. This one, it looks like Hessian. You don't call it Hessian. What do they call it?
Burlap.
Oh, burlap, yeah. handles that we made for that, but you can also use them in the base of bags and all sorts of things. Which I
We
think
like textural
We have
things.
done that in the bottom of that bag.
Talking about textural, we've got the chenille bag. Alison, do you want to show you that? This is one. This bag was only released last week or the week before, I think, Alison.
Yep.
Chenille.
So
Now, I don't know about in the rest of the world, but in Australia, chenille has been making a real resurgence. I can remember when we were growing up, Alison, we'd go and stay at our grandmother's place, and the old bedspreads on the quilt was chenille.
even ours, we had
Yeah,
we shared a room our whole lives.
Yeah.
But at one stage we both had purple
yeah.
chenille bedspreads.
Yep. So this has been done where the fabric's all. How's it done? It's all stitched down and then cut.
It's all stitched down and then cut. As well as that, you have to cut your square. They're all squares. You have to cut your squares on the bias. Otherwise, when you cut your chenille strips, it doesn't open up like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can make a bag, but you could also buy that design.
And make the
Our
old-fashioned
model,
sort
yeah,
of quilt,
model.
couldn't you?
You could make the whole quilt out of that. It's got that beautiful quilting design in it as well. That makes it sort of a chevron look.
It's got really pretty handles too. We always, if we do something different with straps, we'll include that in the instructions so you can learn a new technique.
We have a lot of videos on YouTube as well.
So that's a very nice PU, Alison.
Oh, it has such a nice PU.
Yes, which we have coming out very shortly.
We do. Yep, we're going to have PU leather in I think like a week.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not PVC. PVC is what you call vinyl. This is actually a PU, which I guess is polyurethane something, but it's actually more eco-friendly. Takes much less time to break down once it's been gone into landfill. It also, they use a lot less chemicals and everything when they're making it. And even better, it feels much better than vinyl. Actually, a lot of them you wouldn't even know
the
they
difference.
weren't.
No.
Yeah. So
PVC, you can actually smell the toxins in PVC. I think the chemicals that they use.
Yeah.
I mean, there'd be some sort of chemical
there is, but
in
it's
this
different.
one, but it's a lot
less.
less. A lot less. So it's a lot safer.
Yeah.
So that's that bag.
And then
this big show and tell. We haven't done a show and tell for so long. What year was it? Was it 2017, Alison? We did a trunk shows and we went across to different sorts of. We went to all the stores. We went to about 9 different stores.
Yeah, probably. I can't remember which year we were.
We took about 10 suitcases full of all of our things. It looked so funny walking through the airports.
It wasn't funny though.
No, especially when you get pulled up by security at the airports and the man says, "What's in all your bags?" and you say quilts, and I don't believe you.
Yeah.
You open up and it just explodes with everything in it.
Criminals.
Yes. This is another new bag. Probably packed with. I've got. This is a new one. Is it released yet, Alison? I don't think this is even.
Oh, you don't? Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
They've got so many designs.
Well,
We'll let you know.
Plenty of pockets.
We'll actually put the links to all these designs that we're talking about.
Our
in the
system
comments
down can find
somehow.
out.
I think maybe.
That's using our beautiful mesh, and we have this gorgeous range of coloured mesh. We have white and black and pink, purple, orange, green, and blue. And as you can see, they're a beautiful, soft mesh that we use in these bags as well.
So they're good laundry bags, aren't
They're
they?
great for laundry, but they're great for bags. This mesh you can also use in clothing or anything because it's soft on your skin. We've tested it all for its colour fast, for washing.
Yeah.
Can take a warm wash. You wouldn't want to put your iron straight on it,
No.
of course, but that's okay. Actually, we've got a trick for that.
Matte. Oh yes. Sorry. I was thinking, what trick have we got?
It's fun working with your sister.
Yes.
We occasionally have a little argument, but as I said, we did share our bedroom our whole lives, so we.
I really feel like I'm on an episode of Play School, which is an Australian children's program that we grew up with watching. And they have fun, and it's all bright colours, and there's toys and stuffed animals and llamas around, and we're actually living it now. So the applique mat comes in a tube like this. It's 15.75 inches wide and 23.5 inches long.
And then in centimetres. Oh, I don't know, I can't find it.
There.
Oh, 40 centimetres by 60 centimetres. So it's a nice big one. It is actually for doing applique. Can we put one out of the
Yes, I'll get the one out of the
You can use Steamer Seam Light is a product where it's a double fusible, and when you're doing applique, you can actually put your drawing or whatever under that because it's see-through. You can place your applique pieces on top with your fusible webbing, and you can actually fuse it to the mat, so you can build up your picture while the pattern's behind this, which makes it much easier. And this can take high temperatures. You'd never get your iron hot enough to melt that. But we've also discovered a great new use for it when we're ironing cork or the mesh or our PU leather or anything, and you want to protect it from the heat.
That's right.
We use the mat. We turn the iron down a little bit, but you'll get to know. I mean, you can try it on something that scrap a piece of whatever you're working with anyway, and put it under the mat and give it a go. But that's what I'm scared to recommend it in case anyone melts anything. But you
always test when you're using a hot iron. You'd never ever just put a hot iron onto something that was delicate. So if you were worried about whatever it is that you've never ironed before, you always do a test piece. And start off with a medium iron, low to medium iron.
And just work up.
I've just noticed a question, Alison, going up. Someone would like you to show the Stitch Buster.
Oh, okay. People are asking as well where to buy our products, and it's on our website.
That's called the Essentials range. So if you go to the shop now,
and Darren's going to give you the link to our website and everything. So follow Darren's link, and you'll get everything there, and you'll get your product either sent from our warehouse in Australia or in the US. So this is our amazing stitch eraser. We call it a Stitch Buster. It's in a pretty pink. It has a narrow head, so you can get into those smaller places. Of course, it has our Sweet Pea logo and everything on it.
So this is what you use when you've made those little errors that will always happen, and you don't want to sit there with your unpicking tool.
And we may as well clear up the misinformation that it's a hair clipper. I must admit it looks like a hair clipper, and I think the body is actually the body of a hair clipper. But we actually tried, I think I might have tried like 100. Every friend of mine now has a new hair clipper because we tried so many and we just gave them away. None of the blades were perfect for working on thread. You have to you hold it like this and you rub it over the fabric, and the blade has to get close enough to the thread to actually cut it. But then it has to have a tiny bit of the teeth so it doesn't cut your fabric. So it might look minusculely different. But it's minusculely, that's a hard word to say. It's a small difference.
But it's been designed to protect the fabric mold.
We had to work with an existing mold and get them to make fine changes. It's taken us years
a lot of testing.
To get it exactly right, and you will not be disappointed.
I kind of cringe when people have asked, can I use my dog hair clippers? I'm thinking, well
you can.
You can try.
People will say, I use mine, but you won't get a result like you get from a blade that's made for fabric.
No.
And ours also comes with the stand, as you can see, and the USB plug that comes with it. You also get a power adapter, either US or Australian, depending on where we're sending it. This lead can plug straight into the base, so you can have this sitting by your machine charging. It also has a space for the plug on the clipper itself, or the Stitch Buster, I should know. Everyone's got me calling it a clipper. And that can plug straight into that. So if you use yours so much it runs out of battery, I can't imagine that actually happening, but if you did, you can actually put the plug, some of them you can't put the plug in and use it while it's plugged in. You have to wait for it to charge again before you keep going. So
I think we've got someone, SM Turtle One's, asking if we can demonstrate it. We do have a really good video.
It's probably easier to see because we're not close to
Darren will give you the link. It's a YouTube video that we did a couple of days ago, and it really gets in. We've got the camera really close. You can see the stitches actually being cut one by one just about.
So that's even really show the case, which is absolutely amazing too.
Martin calls it the glamour case.
The glamour case. But how beautiful would that be for a gift? And also to take to your machine embroidery classes.
It's actually like a hard shell, isn't it? So
it's a
gonna
firm
protect-
shell on the outside, and then it has a specially molded foam
So it
inside
protects
to
it.
keep everything in place and everything's protected. And I know that people want to take other stuff to sewing as well, so you can put your scissors and a couple of other,
Yeah.
or whatever you want actually in there with that as well, and it just zips up. As if you put everything in properly, it would zip up better.
So what else? The threads I thought we might talk about too that we've got, Alison.
That's
So
really exciting.
yeah, we've just brought out our new range of thread. I'm going to get a bit closer so you can see it. It's called our Incredi thread. So they come in boxes of 12, or 6. They have a beautiful luster and sheen to them. They can use them on your embroidery machine or your sewing machine.
They're actually made for sewing as well.
Yeah.
You can use your embroidery thread in a sewing machine, but it's not very good.
No, it's
Like
not.
some people go, oh, I do it, but this is a 40 weight thread. Most embroidery thread is 50, 60, which means that they're a lot weaker. And actually this is stronger too because it's a 2-ply multi-filament, which gives it so much strength.
Yep.
And we love it because it doesn't break. We stitch out embroideries here all the time and rarely, if ever, have any thread breakage while we're embroidering.
And to use this thread on your sewing machine when you're actually sewing your quilt blocks together. I mean, quilts are something that get washed a lot. So after going through all that work of sewing all your blocks together, if you'd sewn them together with embroidery thread, you wouldn't be guaranteed that they could.
No, and actually,
together.
This sort of proves it in a way. Whenever you're doing one of our zipper purses or anything, we always do a seam, just like a single stitch.
Yep.
That goes around the seam, and then if you're happy with it, then we come back and do a triple stitch around. The reason we do a triple stitch is because embroidery thread is not strong
enough for that, for anything, but to hold a seam together, basically, really, isn't it?
No. So if you buy this, you won't have to buy
two lots.
I think we'll put some more clothes back here. This one's been very popular. It's actually they're still wrapped in plastic, but you'll get the idea. It's our skin tone pack. They're very hard to come by. You're going to tell me I can see yourselves.
So they're only
very
minute.
easy to
They're
have
just
on.
minute changes in the shade, but they make
They're
a
really,
world of difference.
and they're sort of a bit, this one it's a bit pinker that you can use for cheek.
Yeah.
Everything, and then there's darker and lighter colours. So probably these are all our 6-packs, but we also have 12-packs as well.
One of the things I hate about thread too, Alison, is when you're finished, I hate having all these threads hanging over the down the floor or wherever I'm getting tangled up in them. These spools have got the clicky spool bottoms where you pull it down and then you wind your thread
into
the part that you've clicked out, and then you can click it back closed, and then you can snip that little bit off, and it's not going to unwind.
Yeah.
So that's a good way of keeping it nice and tidy.
It is. Anyway, and it's just beautiful, beautiful sheen, and it's polyester, which is good in the wash, and it's still. A lot of people don't like polyester as much because it doesn't have the sheen of rayon, so they use rayon for the sheen, but this has the polyester and the sheen.
Yeah.
So
I believe was Darren going to be playing a video now, maybe or not?
Is that what you've been trying to tell us?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do we just keep talking? The crazy Australian women
Why
just
did we
keep
have
talking.
this one? Oh, this is a.
I've got an Australian joke too. Can I tell you?
Yes.
So this is for Darren, because you know how he played that funny practical joke at the beginning and had us upside down.
Yeah.
That was all my idea, though.
So Darren, I've got a joke for you, Darren.
Yes.
Did you know a kangaroo can jump higher than a house?
No, I did not know that.
Did you know one of our kangaroos can jump higher than a house?
Oh.
Yep. Well, it's because it can, because kangaroos have very strong hind legs and houses can't jump.
There you go. That's pretty good.
I actually have to write it down because I keep forgetting to punch it.
I like that. I see a lot of comments saying they can't wait till they get to Australia to see your shop.
Yeah.
That would be that. I saw a couple of people say it was on their bucket list.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can do more things like this, more events like this.
Yeah, this is fun. We're enjoying
We've
it.
actually set up a special room for our filming now. We never had a special room.
No.
And our building is on a very busy main road, and we had to find a corner of this building where we weren't going to get any road noise with the filming. And we're in this tiny little room that's like a closet with a little fan on because there's no windows or air. So if Alison and I faint.
And it's not winter here either.
No, it's summer.
It's summer, so we've been pretty hot. Lots of swimming and everything. So
we definitely can't wait till things clear up and we can have you, whenever you're in the United States, maybe come to Arizona to do an event with us live. That would be great.
The first time we met you, Darren, was at one of the Rusty Barn events back in 2000. Was that 2017? Yeah, in Arizona, in Tucson.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay, yes. Yeah.
That was great.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So we were very excited. And I was telling somebody that they're cute together on there, how they interact. You two, it's fun to watch you. And then I was saying that to myself and my niece that was watching with me. And then I saw somebody else say that in the comments. So it must be true. It's cute to watch you guys.
My whole family's here, so
we're very lucky to be able to work together.
Sometimes that's a negative though, because like my daughter will tell me what she thinks. So I go, would you say that to a normal boss? She says, no, but you're my mother, so I can.
We all have daughters like that, Alison.
You've got two daughters working here.
We're gonna try this video. It's a zippered purse, the sewing machine zippered purse design. And if anybody, I'm sure that people are going to be wanting some of those designs that you've just shared. On the homepage of mulqueen.com, there's a Sweet Pea link. If you click that link, that allows, when you check out to get your discount, use code MULQUEEN10. But it is going to direct you to the Sweet Pea portal so that it shows everything that they have, all of their designs.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is an instructional video. It lasts, I think it's around 15 minutes maybe.
Yes.
And it'll
that Deanna was just showing you. So.
Yep, it's going to do that. The sewing machine purse they're holding, and we're going to be here so that if you have any questions on any of this, how this zipper purse is made in the hoop. And so, without further ado, let's get that video rolling.
Sounds great. Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly with you.
Okay. No, still on screen. No, we're not. Are we not on screen yet?
We're going to have a look at making up a sewing machine zipper purse.
Oh, great.
Project.
Actually, what we should do now
Quite
is
fun to do. It's got some really good learning in it. And it's fully lined with a zipper, etc. Comes in 4 sizes: 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, 7x7, and has a D-ring at the top left-hand corner, which you can attach a wrist strap onto or something. And that is attached within the seam by either a piece of cotton tape or ribbon, or we have shown us making a strip of fabric to create the loop on pages 3 and 4 of the notes. So we don't actually show that in the video, but it just appears magically. We just tape it into position while we're putting the first lot of lining onto this project. Quite a nice project to actually do a zipper little bag. It's very, very simple. It's the way we always do these, and quite magically it turns out after 2 turns to be a very simple way of making this fully lined within the hoop. We need to put some stabilizer in the hoop, and we've used a tearaway. Tearaway is good when you're doing zippers because you need to actually create an opening to actually get to the back of the zipper to turn the job through. If you were going to use a cutaway, you'd need to cut the window behind the zip before you got too far into the project so as that you could turn the job through at the end. Otherwise, you will not be able to turn it out. It will just look like it can't be done. So a tearaway is advised. Where if you do want to use a cutaway, then please do, but look at when we turn this through in the video, and you'll see what I'm talking about as far as having to turn it through the zip at the very last. So we have put the stabilizer in the hoop. We have also pinned our stabilizer around the edge of the hoop so that it will not shift, because there's a bit of toing and froing taking the hoop out of the machine. pins stop the stabilizer from shifting within the hoop. It's just another layer of security. So first of all, we actually place the placement line for the zipper actually on the stabilizer. These are just 3 rows of stitching, which we put our zipper central in between these with the teeth laying over the center line. And we're going to tape this on with some washi tape to hold it quite secure into position so as we can actually stitch the zip to the stabilizer. Keep the zip puller on the left-hand side. The zip is closed. Let's remove our washi tape. Don't get too aggressive. We don't want to rip the stabilizer. We want to keep it quite firm. Taking the top section of the zipper on the outside, we've got a piece of fabric which we're going to be ironing so it's wrong sides together, and we're going to place a piece of stabilizer, either cut away or tear away inside, just to give it some sort of a little bit of fortitude and stiffness, so as it will sit quite nicely when it's been stitched. We place the folded edge to the center of the zip teeth, and with some washi tape hold it in position so as we can stitch it to the stabilizer. So that's the first side of the zip. So it's creating a slotted zip. So the zip, the folded edges of the zip fold together in the middle. So it's called a slot. And the lower section, fold it over 1/2 inch. Press that seam so that's wrong side up there. So we press that over to the wrong side. Then we're going to slip a piece of batting inside that seam we've just turned over, with the right side facing us now, and then we're going to place this onto our hoop with that folded edge butted up to the zip edge which we've just done. Put the washi tape on, hold it in position, and it's going to sew out the silhouette of the actual sewing machine. Pull our washi tape off. Okay, and we're going to trim around the edge of this piece of white fabric with our curved blade applique scissors, leaving the seam allowances on the sides in the seam allowance. Don't trim those back, just leave those seam allowances in. Stitch out the placement line for our next piece of fabric to go onto, which will be the harp of the machine. And we're going to trim this back as well, but we're going to leave the end of the hoop seam allowance. We're going to leave that in the seam allowance. Make sure that we leave that there. Don't cut it off. And another placement line for the base of the sewing machine. Stitch that on. And we just need to cut the top of this off, leaving the seam allowances. We've added one more section at the bottom there, which was white, and we're adding our little windows, which is double fabric for both the needle plate and the little screen. We use double fabric so as that if we have a dark fabric underneath, it will not show through. We've just put some white underneath this yellow, just to give it a little bit more intensive color, because those gray little flowers would show through to a lighter fabric. So that's what we block it with another piece of fabric using either the same color or white. Doing our dots just out of our buttons there. Now we're doing the indication or suggestion of the threading slots on the sewing machine where the take-up lever is. Very simplistic. And we're going to do the push button pad on the machine. Quite fun. And once we've completed that, we're going to do our satin stitch around the silhouette outline of the actual sewing machine. We've fast forwarded this, but the best satin stitches are done slowly, so reduce your speed. Right, turning your work over, we've got the first piece of lining, which will line out the front panel, and we've a folded edge up to the middle line of where our zipper was, where we had our zip teeth, and it's going to stitch that into place all the way down. Now we're going to change our bobbin. We're going to change it so as it matches our needle thread because we're going to do some lace filigree around the top of this. Just both edges of the zip's going to have a little bit of lace filigree, and it's better that you actually have a matching bobbin when doing this particular sort of work with the stitch in there, so you don't get any bobbin thread coming through, especially if you're using a darker version of this, because you don't want to see any little picks of bobbin thread coming through. There we go. Don't forget to change your bobbin back. So we open the zip up, put the zip runner, lay it down flat, and put a little bit of washi tape over those seams to hold those zip welts down, so when we stitch over them, they get caught on the foot. And there goes our little D-ring, which we've made up previously through our notes. That's optional. And this is going to be our next backing piece of lining and batting. Now we've split this into two sections. What's showing you in the video here is that we've just put it together, both the lining piece of fabric and the batting, all in one go using a triple stitch. We have decided to actually split this up in the actual design. So this will go on with just a normal straight stitch, and then once you're happy with its placement and it's nice and firm and in position, you will actually triple stitch it again. So it's set up into being two stages, or rather than just one. Then we're placing finally on the back the last piece of lining. So on the back of the work, in position very firmly with washi tape, and stitching out the shape. So this will give us the curved corners. Okay, there we go. Take our pins out. Sometimes you lose your washi tape actually on the bed of the machine. Let's pull out our tearaway. Using a tearaway definitely makes your seam allowance a little bit finer. And trim back our seam allowances back to 1/4 of an inch. Except for at the bottom, where it's 1/2 inch and then another and then 1/4 of an inch. And we'll see this in a minute, where we have a little opening, which we leave 1/2 an inch and then 1/4 of an inch, and we just trim off our corners. Just clip into our seam to turn that through. You can roll it with a bit of steam between your fingers. Take out any unnecessary bulk like that batting, and you've got another little piece of batting there. Now, try and I like rolling that up because it just makes it a little bit more pliable. Turn it through first, but this is what we call our first turn. Turn it through. Just take your time, be gentle. So the bag is now inside out. And we've got a chopstick. Everyone uses a chopstick, so we call it the communal chopstick. And we're going to, now this is where the zipper is, and we're going to pull that piece of stabilizer, this tearaway, out behind the zipper. Now, if you were going to be using a cutaway, you need to cut that out. Let's give that a bit of a press. And turn in this edge, and that edge is going to be hand sewn. It's going to be hand sewn together. Just catching the lining edge to the stitches. There we go. Then final turn, which is through the zip. So we're turning it to the right side again. Fun, quick, easy, and addictive. Great little project, fun to do, and very quick. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Well, that was awesome.
Good, put our camera back on.
It's on. It's on.
And we're back. That was a wonderful video making that cool sewing machine zipper bag. We just wanted to share with you how their process works on doing that bag in the hoop. We're gonna bring Allison and Annette back in here real quick.
Hello.
Hey.
Can you hear
Hi
us?
again.
Thank you.
Yep, we love that video. That
We should have done a quick change of set or something.
We got to swap positions. That would be exciting.
yeah. Yep. So we are so thankful that you guys did this with us.
Yeah.
We were very excited all week waiting for this moment. And if anybody has any questions, we got Allison and Annette here for just a short bit longer.
Yep. We've got a few
It's,
more things to go to if you want us to show some more.
Any idea when the block of the month Zodiac Quilt Block 12 will be out?
What day of the month does it come out? Okay,
Oh,
none of us
February.
know.
It'll be next week sometime, I think. We're talking about for February. Are we?
I don't know.
Well, wait.
I'm not-
We'll get that. I'm listening to upstairs. HQ.
Well, Jane, while we're doing that, we forgot to say that you can also buy the zippers in cut to length.
Oh, okay.
So the packets have 3 meters or 2.75 meters, and they come with our nice metallic pulls, which have got our Sweet Pea logo on them. And we've just released a video on the website as well, on the product pages, showing people how easy it is to put the zipper pull onto the tape with a fork method. So if
That
you're
is
customer,
awesome.
have a look at that.
So that's it's 3 yards.
Yeah, or 2.75.
Yeah, it's 3 yards.
We have Beverly York is asking, is the zippered purse pattern on the website?
The sewing machine one.
I'm
Yes.
thinking that
It's
Beverly's
the
probably
sale
talking about that one.
It's $8 on the website, but I just want to remind everybody, if they go to our website by the link that you give them,
Yeah.
they'll get 10% discount on digital designs and any hardware that we've been showing.
It's
today.
just one checkout, so you can use the discount code once.
And,
One time,
it's,
okay.
and it's good for 14 days, but they need to go through the link that you'll be giving them. At
That's
the end.
right, or you won't get the 10% off.
Judith Basie is asking,
So-
where in Australia are you located?
Yeah, we're in Brisbane in Queensland, and it's subtropical, so it's probably similar to Orlando, Florida, or something like
California.
that. California, yeah, parts of California.
Oh yeah.
Because parts of California are cold. Parts of Australia are cold too. Down in Melbourne, there's some higher mountains and they have some ski fields, but it's a pretty short ski season, and I don't think it's ever snowed in Brisbane where we're from. So
To give you an idea of, like, we've got states in our country too. We've got 6 states, but Queensland, the state we live in, the one state called Queensland, it's as big as the state of Texas. Is that right?
our country.
Our country is as big a size as Texas.
Oh no, that's
No,
right.
no.
You're right. Yeah,
Queensland
Yep.
is the size of Texas.
Yeah.
So you know how big Texas is.
but Australia is about
Yeah.
the size of the US states, part of North America.
Yeah.
So not including Canada, and that's how big Australia is.
Mm.
And our population is only like 25 million or
Yeah,
something.
25
So
million, yeah.
over that whole country. So over the whole size of your country, we only have 25 million.
And we're all spread out around the coastline
Yeah.
of Australia. Nothing much is in the middle except
No,
for
it's
kangaroos.
very dry. So.
You drive on the wrong side of the road, is that correct?
No, we drove on the correct side of the road.
Yeah, Daniela is asking, what was the name of that bag with the animals in the pocket?
That was the
That-
woodland animal bag.
That bag was very, very cute. I've never seen anything like it. It's so unique with looks like they're coming out of the tree trunk.
That's right.
Even had-
And we have an Australian version with Australian animals. We have a koala, a kangaroo, and a parrot coming out.
You even had myself and Darren oohing and ahhing over it.
Two guys were oohing and on over that bag.
Yeah, actually, every time we've had it at the show, people want to buy it. Don't
Yeah.
they? We've had people bidding, like
Oh,
they were
yeah.
having a bidding, competing with each other to buy it. And we're going, it's not for sale. What are you talking
I actually
about?
tied string to the animals and attached them to the bag so that the animals couldn't go wandering.
Yeah, right.
Oh yes. What is
They
it called
make-
again? I'm sorry.
Woodland animal bag.
Woodland animal bag. Awesome.
Bag. Yeah.
So someone's also asking about our machine embroidery rulers, which we did forget to show. So we have a whole set. They come in all different sizes. I'll have to explain them a bit because everyone probably hasn't heard of them. We have our own suction grip as well that can go on them, so then you can use them like this. But basically the idea is this rule is for the 4x4.
So they can see that bigger.
Sorry, this one's for the 6x6 hoop. So there's a square drawn on here that's actually 6 by 6 inches or 16 centimeters square. And then there's an extra inch or 2.5 centimeters on every side. And that's because when you're making a quilt or anything like our 6x10 blocks, every time you make a bag or something with a 6x10 hooping, we have in the instructions to cut your batting 8 by 12.
That's to allow for the seam allowance.
To allow for the seam allowances, and so when the machine goes around to stitch it down. So we got sick of cutting things out over and over. So we developed actually to start with, we got Dad to make us some. And all you do, and they're clear as well. So when you're putting them on your fabric, you can see the fabric behind it there. You can actually center it using your square. You'll know exactly what's going to be inside the stitching of it.
So it's good for fussy cutting.
It's great for fussy cutting, and you just put it down and cut around it. I won't do it because we're running out of time. And then same with the butting. Butting doesn't make much sense.
Just saves measuring everything.
If you're making a quilt like this one,
yep,
you'll need 100 or whatever, 150 blocks and pieces of batting that exact size. So you can now use your ruler, just fold your batting up. You can cut multiples at a time. That's what we do, and we just have everything pre-cut, ready to go. They come in 4 by 4, 5 by 5, 6 by 6, 8 by 8,
6 by
5 by 7,
6 by 10,
I'll let you do it,
and 7 by 12.
Yay!
But all the sizes are on the website, so you can buy them actually individually because some people don't have the need for every single size. Some people, so you could buy just the small 4 by 4.
That's right.
If that's you do a lot of that sort of thing if you've got a smaller machine, or you could buy the whole set and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Once again, if you purchase through the link that Darren will have up for you, you'll get 10% off anything on our website for the next 14 days. Excuse me, Alison.
Mm-hmm. I'll show them this in the meantime.
Yes, I was just seeing a question, so the 10% discount.
Well, I've seen some questions of people asking about the things on the table.
Yeah.
They were asking about the mesh bag as well.
The mesh bag, I want to see that again.
It might be the laundry bag.
Oh, the laundry bags.
I'm
Yes.
not 100% sure.
Oh, and that's not there. Okay, so that design's actually not out yet, but it is coming out
Soon.
this
I think
week
it was
or
supposed to
something.
be coming out the middle of February, but I think we're going to push it forward.
They're made in the hoop. They come in lots of different hoop sizes, and depending on your hoop size, will determine the actual size of them. And then the zip is actually up the top there. We sell the mesh in, I think we've got 6 different colours or something.
Yeah.
There's green and orange hiding under there for anyone who didn't see it.
And it's in this Pockets of Plenty. Someone was asking about this one too, Alison.
Yep.
It's called Pockets of Plenty because there's so many pockets. So you've got one
That's
there,
right, we didn't really
you've got
show
one at the
pockets,
back,
but-
you've got a mesh one at the front, another mesh one's on the side, more mesh at the back.
We
But-
tell you, and also it's made, there's extra pockets behind, and also these are loose like that.
Mm.
So you can put a yoga mat in there. Actually, you can put your applique mat in there if you're taking it to a class. Have you got the box? All the boxes.
Which one?
The box for the applique mat.
It
Doesn't matter anyway. They
very-
can work that out. That can go through there. So it's ideal to take to a selling group or something. You put all your bits and pieces in the outside.
And with this too, you can personalize that bag. You can repeat different panels. So if you wanted this, if you like this one with the cloth behind the mesh,
You can
you
do
can
that
have
here
them. You
instead.
can repeat them all along. Or
That's right. And there's some lovely quilting and everything on it as well.
So this is a question that came up. Barbara asked, what was the bundle of fabric you showed with the pretty colours? So it's called Sweet Shop Collection. There's 20 in the collection, 20 different designs.
I can open it up,
different
actually.
colours. So they're fat borders.
That fabric is beautiful.
And there's so many different colorways. And as Alison said, you can just, when you're doing small pieces of applique, you can just pick the bit of green swirl in there, or the blue, or the, you know, you just pick it up to match your other fabrics that you're using.
Yeah.
We're also selling cork fabrics. We haven't even touched on that. If you can see behind us, I have them pinned up on the wall. I've actually fanned out some cork fabric because it's so pliable. You can and thin,
Yeah, it's soft.
soft to work with.
Well, this shows you how soft it is, because this is a little purse design that we have with dragonflies on it. Jenna can hold that up. You can see that the seams go nice and flat. It's actually real cork cut from trees, or
It's yeah, and it's so sustainable industry. So
that's right.
they don't harvest the cork and kill the tree. They're replanting the trees and all that sort of stuff.
That's got our mylar on it as well. I'll show the mylar after next show.
This is a beautiful cork. It's very, very thin. I think this one's 0.4 of a millimetre, so that's in metric, but it's fairly thicker than
It's
a
still
piece
very
of fabric.
strong. Like it's strong enough to make.
Oh, you can't even rip it, can you?
No, you can make a bag or anything.
Probably see. I don't know if you can see my hand behind it.
No.
Very thin, but we've got 30
33 or something.
30 different sorts of the cork online.
Yeah, you've got some different ones as well, sparkly ones, and
Yeah, all above us, printed ones with flowers on there. That's a cork up the back there.
actually
flowers.
the backpack's got cork on it.
Yes, this is our new backpack.
Oh, don't get busy.
That's cool.
Camera
Sorry.
goes
Sorry.
no one wants to see our heads anyway.
Yeah, so this backpack is made many different panels. It's got zip sides, drawstring, pockets on the inside. So this one,
Pockets on the
sides.
We've got zips.
It looks very complicated, but we've had many, many people in our Facebook group who have made them, and there's a different one called quilted patch.
Quilted pack. No pack.
Quilted freeform.
No, I can't.
Anyway, there's another backpack on it. I've lost
Lost the name.
the name. Yes, so that's available on the
We're not
website.
very imaginative with our names. They mostly actually pretty well describe the bag, except for the time that you'll probably see on the website that we have this beautiful hobo bag.
Oh, I did have it to show.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Anyway, so
This
it's our
bag.
lovely hobo. Hobo, that's...
Yeah, this is called Elson.
Oh, yeah,
Hobo clutch bag.
yes. So anyway, so someone came up to us at the show, one in Houston, the Quilt Festival.
Yep.
And asked me why on earth, they said that is beautiful, why on earth
No.
is it called a hobo clutch? And I said,
They asked me, and then
Oh,
they came and
shit.
asked you. The lady came up to me.
Shit,
She was with her
okay.
sister or friend, and she came up
Yeah.
and she said, "We've been wondering, this beautiful bag you've got on the website and you're displaying on your stand. Why did you call it hobo? Look at all the beautiful embroidery."
that's
and
right. And then
everything."
you came over
And I said,
I
I don't
why
know,
did you call it
but
hobo?
Alison names everything. So we went and asked you, and she goes, "Because it's Bohemian."
It's boho. What are you talking about? They will go, no, you've called
You
it
called it
hobo.
hobo, not boho.
Oops. So
Anyway,
well, we
too late
left
to
it as
change
the hobo bag because that's a pretty cute story.
And that bag actually is one of our little clutch bags. That's made completely in the hoop.
Mm-hmm.
You turn it twice,
There's two hoopings. The first
Yeah.
hooping you make the flap,
flap, and then the base, and then you pull it all through a little hole in the lining that
Yeah.
you stitch up by hand.
and there's no seams.
No.
And this is why I don't sleep at night, because I worked out how to do that myself before anyone else had any designs that could do that. Like probably 6 years ago or whatever. And I was determined to get it without any raw seams. And I go to bed and I think, ooh, you know, I could probably do this. I'd have to get up and then I'd go back to bed. Anyway, we better check out some
Yes,
more
I'm
questions.
trying to look. Our director keeps telling
Someone
me.
said, can you use the cork fabric in the zipper bags? Yes,
Yes.
you definitely can.
I made a nice one, but I think I left it.
The
Yeah.
diamonds one's over there somewhere.
Oh,
It
yes.
is under everything. While she's looking for that, we do sell the mylar as well. It comes in packs of, it's got 2 sheets, 19.5 inches by 39.2 inches, and that's 50 centimetres by 100 centimetres. And
Being attacked by mobile.
that's the sort of thing you can make. with mylar as well.
Maybe
Deanna
Deanna
might show that because I'm not sure that's getting any sparkle at all. Did you find the bag?
this one.
Yeah, for the cork question. Oh, but we haven't got the cork in the zip, but you can because as Deanna showed you, because the cork's very soft and it's basically like fabric, you can just use it in the same way as you use fabric. That's got our beautiful cork in it.
The colours of the cork fabric.
And one of our beautiful metallic.
Yeah.
zippers.
We've got them all displayed on the website, Nancy. If you want to have a look on the website under shop now, go through the link though that Darren will give you, so that anything you put in your cart, you'll get that 10% discount on any digital design or any of our products.
Someone wanted to know what that quilt was called that we held up before. It's called the Bloom Delight quilt.
How are we going for time, Darren? Do you want us to keep talking? Because Alison and I can talk all day.
Yeah, you won't get rid of us.
You know, if people have questions, we're here to work through the questions.
Wait, through the questions.
Okay. Oh, they better castle.
What is the quilt on the right-hand side of the table?
This one? Okay, we can hold that.
That was our Easter design last year.
Move everything.
Our nice tidied set has been
This one
displayed.
too. That's our prairie points. And they're actually folded pieces of fabric, like real prairie points. So you could make the whole quilt out of that, or you could use that's a border block, another block, a square block, and then we have these. You could put them onto another quilt. Do you want to hold that up, Dana? And that's just called our prairie points quilt. What's this one called?
This is called our Easter egg heads quilt.
Yeah. Another one, Deanna.
So little
Yeah, so it's our Easter egg heads.
so it's a lovely applique. That's a gorgeous quilt. That comes in all different sizes, which will be available on the website when you look it up.
I think that's another thing that Silvana and Emma have named all the different chickens and the bunnies. They all have names. We don't know what they are.
Lisa's asking whether this is our. We're going to be doing more of these lives. We will be.
Hopefully, yes.
And hopefully Darren might invite us back. We can do more with his store.
And also, someone's asking about the size of the fat quarters. They are just the same. Because we're in Australia, it doesn't make any difference to the size. They're the same over there as well in the US and in the UK and in every country, I believe.
Someone was asking about.
They are a different shape, actually. That might be why that prompted that question. Because we've done it this way so they're flatter and the postage on them will work out cheaper.
I think someone was asking what a pink box was on the front of the counter. I don't know if this is what you mean, but this is one of the ones that were at the
I
front.
know they're probably asking about that.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll show you this one first anyway. This is a box of 6 washi tapes that we sell. So it comes with 3 different pattern ways of white with our logo, pink with a flower, and then the pink with the white logo. I can't remember how many yards are on there. There's a lot.
And
Anyway.
what is special with it is we made sure it's very sticky for a washi tape, but it's not as sticky as a strong sticky tape, because when you're doing a pattern where you've laid your zip down and you've used your tape to hold it, you can just stitch over the tape, and because it's paper you can tear it off. But if it's actually too sticky, when you peel that off, you could also peel your stitches off. And actually, if it's not paper either, if it's a plastic sticky tape, in the process of trying to get that
And
off.
usually when you're doing something like putting a zipper down in the hoop, you've only got one hand free or something, so you can easily just tear this. You don't actually have to find your scissors. I'm forever just ripping it off and using it like that. So it's quite sticky, but Alison said it's a good enough stick to hold down the zipper or the fabric just for long enough for you to stitch it, but not to rip out the stitches.
And people asking again the name of this quilt, and it's Bloom Quilt. Yeah, Bloom Delight Quilt. I thought you were correcting me. Yeah, so that's our Bloom Delight Quilt.
Alison,
That's the pink box.
so Alison put this box there before, and you put it there, so you're responsible now.
Well,
I don't want anything to do
it's
with
not
it.
released yet.
No,
We're scared of our daughters, you see, because
we've just lost lights.
Holly, like the other lesbians, like it. Yeah. So this is actually going to be released soon as well.
They just arrived yesterday, so we just have to put them into the system.
They come in a beautiful glitter case too. They're super high quality scissors. They're made of 5CRCMOV or something like that. It'll be on the website eventually. They're titanium coated, so they're pink. They've got a pretty pink flower screw and pink handles. That actual metal that we're using has a whole lot of added things. Like most scissors, a lot of scissors on the market are made of stainless steel. These are to stainless steel, but they have M as molybdenum or something, and that's for extra strength, and then vanadium, so it has a bit of flexibility as well. So
No kryptonite.
So the blade doesn't chip.
No kryptonite.
No kryptonite.
Well, it sounded like you were saying
Let's
kryptonite.
just say that because I can't remember what they're all called.
Yeah.
And
But they've got the purple in the metal too.
yeah,
So Deanna might be able to get
that's
that.
a titanium coating, and they come in a beautiful case, which is similar to our Stitch Buster, which is firm, and then they've got the molded foam inside, so it protects the scissors, and they're going to be released soon.
Yeah, so they're not that you won't find these on the website yet.
No,
but
but they're coming.
that's Alison's big sneak
And
peek.
so they'd be perfect for a gift or something as well. And if anyone's going to the website to purchase anything, you need to use the code Mulqueen10. The details are probably up on the screen or on Darren's website or something.
make sure
For
you
that,
go
make
through
sure
the
you
link.
use the code and use the link on in the Mulqueen that they give you, or you won't get the 10% discount on anything.
We do love all your stuff, and I think it's really nice you're going to send us all of those samples for our store. That's so nice of you.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, we love all your products. We love your samples. You have so much stuff.
That's what we're saying. You'll have to stop us because we could probably go all day.
We have some winners, if that's okay. We're going to announce. We're going to give away 4 of our USB sticks and 4 gift cards. So Jared's are you gonna read the names, Jared?
Yeah, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna come over to me. So,
This is Jared, my nephew. Jared, this is Allison and Annette.
how you guys doing? All right. So I have for the USBs, I have Jean Hedberg, Jane Wilcox, Pam Stout, and Scooter Beasley. And then for the gift cards, each person is going to get an $11 gift card. There's going to be 4 people. The reason we do that is we've been in business for 44 years. So we wanted to give more people prizes. So we do $11 each. So it's going to come out to Sherry L. Steber, Kathy Bell, Rosalind McGarrigle, and Bonnie Ream Snyder. So if you if your name was read off, please go ahead and email me at jared@mulqueen.com. I'm going to put that up there right there. And you can go ahead and email me, and I will get you your gift cards and your USBs.
There is the 3rd generation here at Mulqueen Sewing. I'm the 2nd, and my parents are the 1st generation. But we love working with family businesses like yours.
Yep.
And I do thank you so much. I hope we can do this again.
Yeah,
It has been very informative, and I hear somebody typing. Thank you very much. We're hoping now if you could tell us what's happening tomorrow, because we're still on yesterday here.
We'll just get our crystal ball out and let you know.
Yeah.
What
No,
you need some football results or something?
Yes, please.
If only.
Well, thank you for having us. We've had a fun time.
Thanks for watching, everyone, too. It's so nice to see so many people there in a chat.
To all the viewers out there, we thank you so much. And Sweet Pea, Allison, Annette, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having
us. We're gonna say goodbye, and then we're gonna show everybody real quick how to click through to your website to get the all the specials. So Sweet Pea, at the top of our website, Jared's going to show our computer, I believe. But at the top of mulqueen.com, my brother Ken has created right below that main banner, you can see Sweet Pea. So right when you go mulqueen.com, you'll see the Sweet Pea very colorful banner there. All you have to do is click that link, and that'll bring you to the website to where you can use the 10% off code, which is Mulqueen10. We wanted to set it up this way so that you can have the discount on all the designs that they have to offer. We're so excited that we were able to do that. And we're going to sign off for today. On tomorrow's schedule, we have Janome. The Janome Sewing Machine Company will be with us live at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then we have the Sizer Vinyl Company with the weedable vinyl that we carry. They're going to show you how to use it to maybe start a little business if you wanted to, how to use the vinyl. And then at 2 p.m. we have Brother. We're going to quilt on a single needle embroidery machine that it's kind of the only machine that you can do free motion quilting on a commercial type embroidery machine. So that Jerry Granada, he's an award-winning quilter, and he'll join us at 2 o'clock. And then at 4 p.m. tomorrow, we have Fabric Confetti and Bruce Allen Designs. So we have a full day again tomorrow. All of our specials are available all week long. If you click our website, mulqueen.com, we do have a link at the very top with all of the individual companies. And we do thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to sign out for tonight, but we'll see